Tonight is a night to do this and celebrate the year for what it was. Celebrate the journey, celebrate the ups and downs across the year.
I'm Terry.
My name is Ari Stamatakos.
My kids call me Dad.
My name is Kira Johnston.
I'm Ian Brownie.
My wife calls me Dan.
Joe.
Alexi.
But you guys and girls know me as Pommy and Oz.
Carlton is belonging to something.
It's not just a sporting team.
For me, Carlton represents almost like our tribe.
It's a massive part of like so many of our lives.
Absolutely, Carlton is life.
If Carlton didn't exist, I don't know what I would do with my time.
Yeah, it is literally 24/7 rent-free in my head is the Carlton Football Club. It is all I think about, all I talk about. Complete nuffy right here.
Carlton's been part of my life since I was born.
Me and my sister, first words that we ever spoke was the Carlton theme song.
Sport is a microcosm of the world we experience. You've got drama, heartbreak, you fall in love, you get angry, you get sad, you want to split up, you want to get back together. And we're all experiencing that in real time, and nothing else matters in the world other than this. The C monogram
Footy here is almost like a religion to a lot of us in the Carlton Football Club.
I'm not a religious person, but it's probably the one place where you can go, or for myself anyway, where I can go and you could just be as an emotional and as open and as free as possible, because no one else is going to judge you. Everyone's there doing the same thing. And
so it is a really, really special club to me.
It feels right. It feels right.
I've witnessed with my own eyes that I can remember.
0 flags.
Absolutely none.
Growing up, definitely watched a lot on VHS.
I spent many a moon up at my granddad's place watching those.
And before this year, I'd actually witnessed as many wooden spoons as I had Carlton finals wins. So that's a little bit of indictment, isn't it?
The 2023 season is the most success I have seen as a Carlton supporter.
I have not been to a single AFL grand final, and I will not go to one until Carlton are there.
I think Brisbane had won about 3 grand finals in a row, and me being, very, very young, I remember going to Dad being like, what's going on? Like, Carlton aren't good. Can I go for a different team? Like, Brisbane's just won 3. Can I be a Brisbane supporter? And he just took me outside, took me down to the shed, and he's like, you can be a Brisbane supporter if you want. No issues, support any team. But that's where you're going to be living if you decide to go for Brisbane. So it sort of learned pretty quickly that it was like, okay, it's Carlton or nothing.
People like me and people like my age have gone through just the 20 years of bad football.
It's a very sad life being born in the 2000s.
So Carlton have been beaten up by Adelaide in round 20. They got beaten up by Brisbane in round 21 and then lost almost the unlosable last night.
So I reckon he's got a thought to himself, I have to be here with my players. We've got one more week to try and salvage and turn this around.
For the second week in a row, I'm standing at the plasma looking at the dying stages for Carlton.
So, Lordy, they got to within 15 seconds of being booked into the 2022 finals.
That was a butchering of the highest order.
I had a part of me that thought this could actually break us. Like, this could hurt us so badly that we do what we've seen in the past, where a team has an unbelievable high where they believe they're going to make it, they're going to get somewhere really special, and they fall short and it destroys them. I was really scared that was going to be the path we took.
Let's be honest, they lost the unlosable today, Carlton. It's harder to lose than to win.
Do you agree with Kane that it was a choke?
Yeah, yes, and it was last week and it was this week.
But then the other way you could look at it was this will unify us and will just push us to be even better in 2023.
He's got a way of teaching you lessons, and we got taught a couple of lessons the hard way, and
you have to do it the hard way. If it's gifted to you, you never learn the lesson.
And so for me, I was trying to take that positive out of it and think, okay, let's build on that.
You can either sort of shy away from those and put your head under the pillow, or you can, when we go back, address them and find ways to train them and put yourself in that sort of position. And we want to be in those moments. We want to thrive in those moments. And, that's what pre-season sports, getting to work, not only from a physical point of view, but keep working on, that team and mental side of the game to want to be in those big moments and execute on the biggest stage.
On the horizon, though, is a goal that is a little clearer, maybe even frustratingly close.
Chatting a fair few of the boys, they're pretty keen to get back and see everyone and get stuck in before the Christmas break.
But the meaning is simple. The heroes of this club were built off the deeds that were done. They were built off when the big battles were won on the biggest of stages. Our deeds are not done and our moments are not complete. And the story right now says we just have to get better. So let's get busy getting better.
Carlton is embracing another pre-season of expectation in its second summer under Michael Voss,
urging his team to change the narrative in 2023.
The Blues have cranked up their training intensity, quick to identify improvements in Michael Voss's second pre-season.
Felt like it's a bit like boarding school when you come back. You kind of miss everyone, and it's good to get the work in with the boys.
There's been a lot of hunger in this group, especially how last year ended. So it's been a hard and long pre-season, but we're all itching to get out there and get stuck back into it.
I hope the pain of last year was the emotional hook that they needed to remember during the pre-season, during those extra sessions. I hope they put in the extra work.
Not one day we're going to waste when we're actually on the training track. How can we make those better? And that's what this pre-season is going to be all about, is making sure we raise the bar, that we raise the standard. And I know if we do that and we're able to implement that more consistently, then there's a real top end here that we can replicate. It's only one or two pieces, but it just shows you how getting familiar with each other and cohesive with one another, how important that is. So, they had a clear sight on what to expect last year. So the fact that they've come back healthy and they look pretty good so far, so we'll go from there.
Keep adding layers to our game, and it's not going to be given to us.
First 5 Newing, settle, kick through it.
Focus on our process and what we can control.
Go. Yes, hold!
What's completely still in your control, even when you're fatigued.
Yeah, we're not putting a ceiling on what we can do next year, so we're really excited about what we can become.
Do you think you're better placed now to understand what's required to be a finals contending team?
Last year, I kind of could have copped to make the finals, maybe don't win one. I felt like it would be a big mountain to climb to win a final for the group, because I understood the process. It's hard to do. In my mind, the next step for us isn't just making finals, it's winning the final. So
top 4. I've seen my mates predict we're finishing top 4.
Premiership.
I'm hoping for top 8, but definitely 17. I think 4 to 8 range.
Finals win?
Hopefully.
Do I think we have it in us? Of course I do. Of course I think we have it in us. Do I think we're going to do it? Yes, I do think we're going to do it.
What types of players are you looking for with your early picks?
Good ones.
With pick 11, Carlton has selected Oliver Hollands from the Murray Bushrangers and the Wodonga Bulldogs.
We're picking Cowan.
Carlton have selected Lachlan Cowan from the Tasmania Devils and Devonport Football Club.
Geez, they've got themselves a good one. Vossi's got exactly what he asked for.
Great pick, So happy with Cowan, Steve. I'm so pumped with Cowan.
Wow, look at those scenes. How good is that?
I'm just blown away. Yeah, I'm lost for words, really. Yeah.
Gone for the Blues on me last, so very, very happy.
Even when I was driving here this morning, I felt like I had to pinch myself, and it just feels like a dream still.
I think the biggest thing out of it all is I've got to go in there and earn my spot. So wherever that is, I think, just going to embrace it all and can't wait to get stuck in it.
We are the Navy Blues.
Plenty of healthy competition around, especially 2 new whippets. So
Ollie's running ability, he's been a real standout in that area, and then Lockie Cowan, he's just a tough defender who has a bit of class.
I feel like I'll be able to fit in right straight away. And
it's been a challenging pre-season. I think the work that we've been covering has been really intense. I think the whole group's travelling really well at the moment.
The direction of what Carlton's heading, and I feel like it was a really, really good fit for mine. Pumped to be on board.
We're also pretty confident with the body of work they've been able to do, and I think probably in the last couple of weeks it's been pretty obvious that they're starting to stand out with what they do, and we've played against some pretty good opposition. They just have to get their job done, bring the energy, intensity that we're after, and then our leaders have to support them. The frustration, the disappointment, and maybe even a little bit of anger was born from caring first.
Past the past.
We're going to write our own story.
A milestone tonight for Jack Silvani, one of the most famous surnames in the history of the Carlton Football Club. He plays his 100th game, and they become the first 3-generation 100-gamers for the Carlton Football Club.
It is a sellout to the public. The top of the Southern Stand, or the Shane Warne Stand now, completely full.
Our 216-game journey is about to begin. Whatever you haven't got done by now, it's going to have to wait until October. The curtain comes up on season 2023. Boy, we're going to have some fun.
Umpires Gavine, Wetton, Meredith and Gian Fagner. We're away. It's Carlton and Richmond at the MCG on a Thursday night to kick off the 2023 season.
Inside 50, Silvani coming at the footy. Can't get a handle on it. Fisher with the snap. Quick reply, Blues. Long ball from Chera. Kerno, Silvani! Oh, big climb! Finish it with a goal. Yes, he does. Bolton! Way!
The mark and then ran into the tackle was Mackay. Not sure he disposed of it. Owies with a little neat ball.
On high, and there is the height advantage this time. Does it beautifully. First of the night for Chaz.
Lynch. Tigers in front. The point of the square. I think he can get the journey from here. He's given it a good hoof though. Have a look at that. What about that? Wow. A big time goal. Right to the square. Who can get on the end of this? Soccer off the ground. Kerno's got it. Goal umpire's going to have a look. But look at the teammates.
Motlop. Fresh legs of O'Brien. Couple of bounces. Keep going, young man, he does. Still the ball sits for him. Inside 50 and almost on his knee.
Hopper. Deep long ball. Here comes Lynch. He's got it. Lynch has marked the footy. He should use the full 30. 30 metres out to tie up the game. Here is Lynch. Got it. Scores a level. Scores a level. We've got about 17 seconds left.
Chera now. They've got numbers out here. Akers couldn't hang on. Shoveling a handball through. A point will do it for the Blues. There's your siren. What a way to start 2023. Drawn game. Ed Kerno. Good ball for his brother. Wants to wheel and go. Charlie Kerno. Brilliant. Another off the boot. Ball spills to Holland. Little bit of zigging and tagging. Handball back here. Might have been Akers that got it in. Free kick Mackay. And now they're looking to go 14 down. Look at that. Beautifully done by Mackay. Cameron around the corner. Long range hooker. Long range hooker. To goal. Handball backwards. Snaffled, I think, by Owies. Picked up by Durden. Right foot beating Banana. Centre of the ground. He too plays on. Goes wide on the angle to Fisher. Fisher plays on as well. And goals. Ed Kerno. Siren.
Can he argue having a shot? No.
Kerno leads into the pocket. And he took it somehow. They've kicked 8:20, but nothing else matters right now than Charlie Kerno going around and kicking it pure.
And it's starting to take full effect. Core. A good Friday victory in what is looking like being a very good season for the Blues. Their best start since a famous year, 95. The Blues winners here by 23. And it's been an excellent start to the season for Carlton. They are unbeaten through the opening 4 rounds.
There's the old saying, if you win when you're shit, you're pretty good. That basically means you've got everything in place.
I remember thinking it was the perfect way to start a season.
So at the time, we'd beat the reigning premiers, and it was like, well, this is it.
They know they're not at their best, but they're finding a way. Apart from the draw, you're not dropping points. You're not playing anywhere near your best.
But you can only take what they were giving us, and you take the wins.
I'd rather finish the season strongly than start it strongly like we did last year. So I was pretty optimistic.
I was of that mindset.
The message we were driving, Pom and I, was let's just enjoy the wins that we're getting rather than worrying too much about what was to come.
I don't think everyone was as optimistic. Like, there were danger signs there that something wasn't right.
I think they were a false dawn in what was a really bad stretch of footy going back to the second half of last year as well.
You could see there just wasn't an energy in the team that we had from the prior season.
Maybe in gear 2, maybe still in gear 1. Lots of room to improve.
I think that complacency set in real early.
We've gone from the heartbreak. It's just going to happen.
It was the best start to a season that we'd had in 12 years, but you could just see that there was something wrong. Something wasn't quite clicking.
There was a lot of disjointedness. Things weren't right. And
I don't think anybody saw the hole that we were about to go in and how deep they went.
Victorian footy fans are flocking to Adelaide to be part of the historic Gather Round.
Tens of thousands of fans are making the pilgrimage for their taste of AFL history.
You can only see the excitement and energy that's come to the city, and I know this will be really important to the city itself and to the state itself.
Carlton will kick off Gather Round tomorrow night at the Adelaide Oval against the Crows.
I think kicking it off against Adelaide is awesome. There's always a bumper crowd over here, and it's going to be a great challenge for us. So we're really excited by it.
Of course, they've got some massive inclusions against the Crows.
And Sam Walsh will play his first game of the year for Carlton.
The club just held him back and make sure he was right. And with the engine he's got, he's always going to be in match condition. But he's ready to go. Looks really good. We're excited as a footy club to get him back in.
Pleased to see that he's been able to tick all the boxes to get himself back for this particular game, and we look forward to having him out there. He's been really missed.
Like I said before, we've got a few mids coming in, so we're looking forward to sort of getting the crew back together, and we'll attack it head on.
If we win that clearance battle, that gives us the best chance.
Jimmy, I'm looking forward to this game as much as any, and I think even though Carlton are second on the ladder, there's pressure on them.
The Crows, the return to Adelaide Oval, the last time we were there, we all remember that, late last year. There's also the narrative around never having won a game at Adelaide Oval, which is a fascinating stat, because I go into this game very confident in what we're able to do.
I think when you strip it back, it's another game of footy and a really important one for the footy club.
I remember going into the Adelaide game in round 5, and I just knew. I said to my family, we went to a pub to watch it, and I said to my family, I said to a few of my mates, I said, this has got a 10-goal loss written all over it going into that game.
Well, we saw this in round 1 against Richmond, where they were really safe with the footy and they copped a lot of criticism. Just think they've got to take the ball forward. If you want to go back and retreat like this, even the Adelaide Crows on Thursday night, tomorrow night, might even make them pay, Jim. And if you want to do that, I think that they're just ready and ripe for the picking to maybe take care of Carlton.
The Crows won't be a pushover, though. The mail about them is their pressure is unbelievable, and they've got a bit of nasty about them. They did try to rough up the Blues last year, so maybe we'll watch out for that again.
It's going to take a real spread to get the job done. The Crows are flying high. I think they're full of confidence. I think they'll come out with everything that they've got and really have confidence that they can beat us. And I think it's perfect because it's going to force us to play at our best. And if we're playing at our best, I think we're a better side.
When there's a challenge, you never step away from it. You always step into it.
So, we're going to have to play 120 minutes of footy to get this one done.
Just get there, get the 4 points by any means, and then come home. And then we can reassess.
Even before this flight left the ground, Carlton supporters had their head in the clouds. They're currently sitting second on the ladder, but as they know only too well, turbulence is never too far away.
Packed house tonight, can't wait.
Late drama with the teams as well. So McGovern are laid out, as Mitch told us in the warm-up. Lockie Plowman takes his place. Honey and McHenry, the respective subs. Here we go. Footy's gathering storm. Welcome to Gather Round.
O'Brien up against De Koning in the middle. Gets it back. Rankin shows his skills immediately. Saab flies. Can't mark. Keys the rove. Hair pass off. Back it comes from Jones, and Rankin from the pockets. Oh, he's got that on rent from Eddie Betts.
Eddie Betts, 310 for the Crows, 330 for the Blues. The Crows punch forward again. Here's Penland, low, boarding ball. Crows are in good shape. Handball over the top. Little chance here. Keys gets boot to ball. Crows go bang bang. That's a gift. Point blank range, second for the year, and third for the Crows evening.
Laird, away to a running Scholl. Shoulder half forward, Walker one-on-one, used his strength on Young. Goal unguarded. Tex loves this scenario. Dawson. Laird. Dawson again measures his pass, and he's a master of that. Fogarty on return from his knee injury. 31 goals in his last 12 games of 2022. Back in the team, and right through the middle it goes.
Fleeced 5 first quarter goals, and they're looking for more here. Dawson lost his feet but had time to recover and deliver. Put it on to the chest of a man who turned 20 earlier in the week. Strikes it well, crowd likes it, it's got everything. The umpire looks over his head, the Timco.
Back into the corridor, Smith and Laird. Poor marking from Carlton. Laird's 12th possession could produce his second goal. Smith's had a good start, gets one round the back to really frank the good start. Thumps it! Doing damage against the Blues again. By Sard, got it to Murphy. Murphy squaring ball to a dangerous spot, and marked by Pedler. Crows fans concur with Matthew Nicks. It's nice to have you back, my friend. Only quarter time, but this feels like a huge kick, and he has not hit it well. First quarter down in gather round, and the locals have laid it down.
I think the Adelaide game was a real red flag. We didn't even show up to play that game.
Back goals for the Crows. Blues got the margin back to 18. Jones does the job. Back to 5 goals.
Go he does with another bullet kick inside the 50, almost a spectacular mark taken by Pedler. But a chance anyway for Keys to bounce one through for his second.
Kennedy runs through the circles again. The tall timber is there this time. Mackay, Duday was brave. Murray's got to get back quickly. Curnow came through. Now Motlop. Blues get a very quick response.
And the finisher? No, didn't have the penetration, but there he is again. Fisher, Mackay must finish. Wants to bend it through, oh no.
Major warning signs from that game. Major warning signs for what was to come.
He's there, ricocheted off his chin. Durden goes past. This is when he's at his best. There we go. The Blues are coming.
Fogarty, as a result of the mark and pass, slices it through. Like Tiger putting, walked away, knew the outcome.
Hinge, thumping kick towards full forward. Walker's got the set over the back. He's got more than that, and he pumps it into the riverbank stand. Last two against Port Adelaide and Fremantle. If they could win tonight, it really gave them some legitimacy. Keys to full forward again. Young gets his hand up. Fogarty wants more. He delivers more. And around where the focus is all on the city of Adelaide starts with the focus on what might be possible for the Crows. A commanding victory. A 56-point win for Adelaide to kick off gather round.
What an explosion in the gather round. Wow. You have the first quarter where you just smack Carlton.
The first 30 minutes, really, Joey, it was an onslaught. We were sitting here almost in disbelief at what we were seeing happen so quickly.
In some eyes, it was a debacle.
And I think in a lot of ways they got beaten by what they knew coming into the game.
Yeah, they were just better than us.
You put on the agenda before the game Carlton's midfield, Kingy, and the problems that they've been having of late, and I think Michael Voss will be poring over the centre bounce work tonight. night trying to work out what happened.
They bombed it high and long far too often to a crowded forward 50, which isn't fun for the forwards.
Last week, North Melbourne really had the better of them through the midfield. North Melbourne just didn't have any key forwards or key defenders to help them last week, but they also beat Carlton, so something that Michael Voss will have to look at.
Message from Bossy post-match?
Touched on definitely that start, but also just our ability to just own it around the contest, and we felt a bit disconnected tonight for a few various reasons. So
the one thing with our midfield group is they got a lot of pride and they're a proud group, and yeah, I expect a pretty fierce response next week from them.
So it was from that point on for me where alarm bells really started ringing.
Best thing about footy is you can spawn the next week, and I'm sure we'll do that.
I think there's enormous growth still in this group. Just that organic growth that you can have, and they're gelling really, really well, and they love each other's company, and they enjoy and love playing with one another. So we've got to sort of lean into that, and we feel like with just some consistency and some cohesion that we can really develop our best.
Tough conversations between two club leaders. Patrick Cripps with footy boss Brad Lloyd with their season in freefall.
Genuine freefall at the moment. And
Voss admits Carlton's finals window is fast closing after a 5th straight loss.
If last week was the death of our football club,
Where do we start now? And then it would get worse the next week.
this week was the funeral.
No, they're no good, mate. They're no good. They're rubbish.
And tonight was the burial.
They look like utter shit today, but so did we, and that's the problem.
Can you believe that tensions are rising by the day at Carlton over the another loss on the weekend as they continue to mount?
Fantastic. Brilliant. Brilliant. Oh, fuck me. I'm glad we lost.
And you go, well, it can't get worse than this, surely, and it get worse the next week.
And next week against Essendon, we're going to have the wake, or what we call in Italian the lutto, where everyone just gets around and has drinks and doesn't really care about what just happened.
It was painful. You knew, you know what, it was that dreaded feeling of how are they going to fuck it up today?
I think Bossy's one of the best things to happen at Carlton Footy Club in a long time. I've got absolute belief in him and in our coaching group.
Wasn't good to watch. Nothing was really going well.
Players pulling out of marking contests, players not competing for marking contests, players making the same kick after kick on the same type of players. Horrific ball use, horrific defensive application.
They just kept getting it to him and he kept mocking it. I actually found myself laughing there a few times because he was just gloving everything.
It's a league level fucking sport. Fuck me. I wish my boss would praise okay, so I could fuck about.
I really remember it was one of the first times I've really sat at the football and just been like, I just want to be anywhere else.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good indicator that it wasn't going very well.
Take a look. Because if you don't like the fucking game plan, you're getting paid for it, you daft bastards. If you don't think the game plan's working, fix the fucking game plan. It's not that fucking hard. It felt like we had no identity, and the identity was fabricated, was fraudulent. It felt like we were pretending to be something we're not.
Everything about this football club at the moment's wrong.
The players, the fans, and the admin, the separation, it's just shown its face again.
Michael Voss has been a tremendous asset for this football club, and we're looking forward to doing great things with him in the future.
He will coach round 1 next season?
Absolutely.
It's an issue for Carlton is their goal scorers, Jimmy. And they've only got 6 goal kickers per week, which is the 17th rank in the competition. So if you can stop pretty much Curnow, you're halfway home to winning this game of footy.
Last night, a familiar feeling. 7 of their past 8 games have ended in a loss, and they haven't scored more than 60 points in their last 4.
What does he need to do? They need to win games, Cornsey.
What is going on? What a fucking joke, man.
Yeah. You just couldn't escape it.
And I was just checked out. I actually wanted to delete Twitter. I didn't even go on it during games because I just didn't want to know what people thought because it was so bad.
What was the quote this week? Can't wait for Friday night. How many of you, honestly, in the chat, how many of you are glad that's over?
So it's becoming predictable. I touch on the conservative nature.
And there was no one there willing to take the game on.
This is the death of this group, Terry. It's done. This core group is all finished now. It's done for them. You can forget about it now. Jesse Motlop from 49 metres out trying to kick a banana set shot.
Oh my God.
Let me repeat that. 49 metres out, a banana check side set shot, bro. Come on, are we being serious?
Have some fucking smarts about you, man. As a footballer, what are you getting paid to do? What am I doing?
Rocco.
It's like Casbo's back in the forward line. 12 players at half-time. No tackles. Come on, we used to laugh at Teague saying effort indicators. Fuck, Teague couldn't even say that at the moment.
What are we doing?
These guys don't care about me. Why should I care about them?
I, at times, have never seen 23 more unlikable people that happen to be wearing something that I fucking hold dear. That a lot of people do.
It was the ones when it was almost on TV and we weren't playing well. That was almost so easy to just, do I just switch off?
Lockie, you haven't played in this side for 8 weeks, bro. Run! Fucking chase!
The spectators are the customers, and the customers keep showing up and paying for the product.
And I'd love to say I won't be here next week, but I fucking will be because I've got fucking mug tattooed on my forehead.
That was the bit that hurt the most, is my care factor was getting less and less, even though I still turned up every week.
Terry, I'm going to be honest. This is bad. This is bad. And whatever internally is going on at that club, come on.
It doesn't really show signs of moving. It just doesn't.
From the first fucking bounce, we knew as a fan base today was done and dusted before it was even played. That is sad, man. It is fucking sad.
Well, it's fast closing. Here's the brutal facts. We're not good enough at the moment. We have to accept parts that we're not. And we're going through a tough spot. But it's going to mean that we're going to have to stick together on this one. Cheers.
Welcome back. Essendon can heap more pain on the struggling Blues tonight at the MCG, returning to Mitch Cleary inside on the boundary line. And Mitch, Carlton's season goes on the line tonight.
Andrew, if they drop this, there'll be at least 3 games outside the top 8.
Oh boy, the hole continues to grow. This week has a weird feeling about it for me. I think a lot of us are lost as to which way we're going. Just got to beat the Bombers. Come on. Just beat the Bombers. We need it. We need it. The players need it. The whole club needs it. Everybody involved needs to feel that winning feeling. I don't know what it looks like. I actually don't care what it looks like. Just beat the Bombers. Allow us to take a deep breath, and then we'll worry about next week. But it just has to be this week. We can't keep going down this rabbit hole of infinite flame.
Since late 2019, Essendon claimed the first King's birthday rivalry clash and hand the Blues a 6th straight loss.
That one was awful for the supporters.
What now?
I reckon I'm going to go home and have a bit of a cry.
There just seems to be no end in sight to this car crash of a season.
Carlton, shit inside 50s, shit and everything.
The damn wall has busted and there's nowhere to hide.
Disgraceful.
You know what's worse? It's going to get worse. It's going to get worse.
Our club, huh? Our club. The Carlton Football Club. The great unknown.
The vibe around the ground was toxic. You could feel the anguish. You could feel the despair. You could feel the anger. And you could also simultaneously feel the just complete dejection and complete withdrawal of all emotion.
Fans turning on fans. Fans turning on the club. Scarves thrown onto the ground. Memberships thrown onto the floor. Players turning on fans, everyone turning on each other.
That was devastating, mate, as a supporter, honestly. And after that game, I said I was done.
The way they were booed off the ground last night was...
You're a disgrace! A fucking disgrace! All of you!
A telling sign.
Loss. Sack him.
Sacking the coach right now isn't the answer either. Like, I think that's the last thing Carlton need, is to sack another coach.
What if you know, and I'm not saying this is the case, but what if you know he's not the right person?
and you're just left wondering what happened.
Cripps. The skipper. Strip him.
Of the captain?
Strip him of the captaincy.
What happened to the team?
I went to the toilet at the start of the third quarter. I came back out, checked the scoreboard. How bad could it be? We were down by 40 points. We were losing by 2 at half time.
What happened to the boys?
And I'm sorry to say, but if it means leaders traded to other teams for draft picks, you bloody do it, because I've had a gutful tonight.
What happened to our club? What is our club?
Don't know, bro. It's just, it's fucked.
When you start to think of all the negatives and how much work it's going to take, you start to go, I don't know if I can do this again. Can I do another complete rebuild where we're gutting the list again, we're getting a new coach?
And football's supposed to be the outlet, but when you're seeing your team get smashed and there's expectations and the media's piling on and opposition fans are piling on and you're putting yourself out there as a content creator, it all became too much.
I'm going to be honest, after Essendon, I had like a 2-hour phone call, existential crisis, called Pommy, and really questioned, why am I doing this channel?
Why I put so much effort into watching these guys, why so many of my emotions are tied up in a football club, why I bother doing the podcast.
Was it all worth it?
But I remember calling Dan as he was walking back to the car, and he was borderline in tears on Punt Road going, what are we doing? Like, this is just a waste of time.
It was just like, guys, like seriously, like this is ridiculous how poorly you are all playing.
There was not one thing you could look at coming out of that game and say, well, at least that's a positive. And that was devastating. Absolutely devastating.
It's the same thing.
I could basically just bring out last week's, find the edits, find out where I've mentioned a team name and just re-record over that and it'd be the same thing.
That looked like 22 blokes going out there and wanting it to end from start to finish.
Our game awareness and our skills are it's beyond below par. It's like bottom 4 level. Going inside 50 was just gross. Harry has a shot on goal, didn't make the distance. Bewildering. When it gets to your better players, you know something's really wrong.
At the moment, that's sort of hard to play good footy when everyone's just a little bit off.
You're talking Lewis Young playing 20 metres behind. Like, I'm closer to some of my fucking ex-girlfriends than he spent on Peter Wright today. You know what I mean? Like, but we're laughing, Terry, but like, fuck me, man.
We get to the 21-minute mark of the third quarter, and we had laid 3 tackles in the quarter.
What you've just seen there is a side give up. Give up. Like, and it's infectious, Terry.
Then it just gets you wondering, what's the deeper issue? What's the deeper underlying issue? Yeah. My deepest fear now with this group is that we got it so wrong from the beginning that the foundations were not set. And if the foundations were not set, then how can we expect this group to pull through? Changes are going to be made, no doubt. Have to be.
And I'm talking biblical change.
Yeah.
I'm talking biblical. I'm talking like fucking God himself reads it and he's like, fuck me, that's Old Testament shit. And let's start doing something that our forefathers did. Asking honest questions. Honest questions. Hard-hitting fucking questions.
Who looks who in the eye and goes, you weren't good enough. None of us were good enough today. So what are we going to do about it?
I was almost just like, can we just somehow press a button, fast forward to the end of the season and hope that it's better next year?
I don't think there was a pass mark at that stage. Unless they somehow made finals, it wasn't a pass mark.
We're 13 rounds into the season and it's, it's not mathematically over because we can still win 8 of our next 10, whatever, all of that. But like, it's done. It's done. Like it's pretty sure it's done.
There was, expectations for the end were very low. I was still a little bit positive, trying to think there has to be something we can take out of this season.
So I turned away quickly from the panic of our season ending, accepting that it probably was over, and then finding a new narrative that would allow me to enjoy the football again. And that where I landed on was, okay, which of you blokes that are out of contract are going to still be here next year, and who's going to earn the right?
Can we get games into Martin, Cunningham, Fogarty?
Who is going to put forward some patch of form to prove that they are going to be with us moving forward, and who's part of the solution?
I would have accepted if at the end of the season there was a bit of respect back in the Carlton brand, because at that point in time there was none. No one respected us. Not even our fans respected Carlton.
It almost went away from necessarily win-loss. It was like, I need to see something again, because I wasn't seeing positive parts of our game plan at all.
Try and win every single football game that we play. That was my thought process.
I did have a feeling that we'd get a win that day.
Was that weird feeling of, God, if we lose this, that could be us done completely. Because as you say, Gold Coast were playing some good footy. It wasn't that they were the old Gold Coast where they don't win a game all season.
I felt like they were overperforming at the time, which they were. I thought we were going to win personally, but it was really hard to sell it into everyone else. And
I always had this underlying confidence because Gold Coast can't travel. They're going to think that we're easy prey here. They're a team that can't really play away from home as it is. We're a chance. I genuinely felt like we were a chance that game. Please, can I have some joy? Just win. And who knows? Maybe one we can turn into two can turn into three. The thought process was, why am I here? Genuinely.
It was a quiet game. There wasn't a hell of a lot of people there from memory.
It was like, what's going on? There's 4 people here. Well, I generally felt like I could speak at a normal volume and Patrick Cripps could hear me.
The expectation of a win quickly subsided at quarter time, very, very quickly.
It was a real Carlton quarter that we dominated that quarter. You go outside for a cigarette break and you're like, how are we losing this?
As we sat down on Jules' couch after mixing salami for the last 4 hours and watched first quarter, I went, this is just... Like, how much hope can you have for a team that just dishes this shit up every single week? Like, going into quarter time, I was like, well, it's the same shit. Like, it's not going to end. It's actually not going to end. And that, I think at quarter time, I had completely resigned to the fact that the season was done.
Traditionally haven't been a great pressure team, the Blues, in 2023. So they've got to be able to maintain the rage.
The Suns 2-6-18, Carlton 1-2-8. And they lead by 10 as we get into this second term. Sends Walsh on a way towards full forward. Mackay and Curnow both there. And Harry came late and just 18-18 for the season. Mackay, that's through.
That's the rugby league one that's getting them into trouble. For the hip drop.
There's a plus for Carlton, 50 for Sam Doherty. Martin fired it back to Doherty. He kept them guessing. Short to Cottrell. Tough kick from 40 out, but he is directly in front. He put it right through the middle. Welcome back Cottrell to the goal kicking list. Has them jumping deep again. Mackay, Andrew both did that. Owies edged it forward. Cottrell again. What a transformation for the Blues. A double team width in the middle.
He tried to barge through.
Scored all of them were contested. Chera. Depth on the kick. Curnow, they shuffle around. Cottrell was looming again. And he is gone long. Blues suddenly feeling good about themselves. They're even better now.
Really seen, he loves it.
Duconi did enough. Chera high. Walsh, this time he is allowed to take the advantage. Tries to storm out of the middle. And it's aggressive line for Curnow. He will be relishing the opportunity suddenly. Carlton getting some connection out of the middle for a 5th goal of the second term. The Blues are vibrant and loving it. Cotto, a little gift to McGovern. Just got on the boot as snappy as he could. Owies and Andrew in that fascinating contest. Now they gang up with Akers to put a terrific tackle on.
Well, they got inside 58 times and they're about to score 8 times.
Gets aligned properly. In discussion about how square on he is. That'll work. 2 goals in his 100th, Harry Mackay. Life feeling better already.
Indeed. And another one.
Out of the with the coning. Been in and out of the team this year. Just the 2 goals for the season. Carlton playing perfect football. Every time they go forward, they convert 7 goals, 2 to 2 behinds in 20 minutes of football. Carlton are an irresistible force at the moment. That's forward, and their forwards are loving it. Not going to be enough. Jacone wasn't far off. Fogarty to Kennedy. Give everyone a go. Anderson gone. Had his time. They can't put a foot wrong, the Blues, at the moment. Oh, Humphrey didn't go for it, but Kemp did. 55 out, he spotted the skip. The Carlton captain to the city end of the MCG. It's not bad leading these Blues after all. The Baggers are back.
Didn't get their hands on the ball in the third quarter, and Essendon did to them what Carlton are doing to the Suns right now. So it's taken a while for it to set in, but it's also been built on winning the contested ball. I mean, that's the starting point. They've won the clearance, they've won the contest. Look at this tackle. They're inspired, and they're inspiring each other.
Siren about to sound. What just happened at the MCG? Carlton kicked 9 goals, 3. A week ago, the Carlton fans were venting. They were venting on radio. They were venting as the players left and went down into the rooms.
My honest thoughts about what I was going through my head at halftime. We're back. We're playing finals.
I think I went from begrudging confidence that I will win the game to they're doing the thing that they should be doing. So it wasn't necessarily the fact that we kicked 8 goals. It was that we were dominating in the areas where when we had won in 2022, we were dominating those areas.
And it was like something clicked in the heads of, you know what, this is what we are. The way we hide our bad ball use is by hard work ahead of the ball. It's by being there first. It's by running together. It's by working together. It's playing quicker.
It was a shock that they actually did it. It wasn't a shock that they were capable of doing it, because we all knew that they were capable of doing it.
Once you just got through the mud, it was clear water.
We're winning. Fuck. I'm not stressed. I'm not angry. I'm not anxious. I'm not anything. I'm just relaxed. Kick 10 goals in a quarter, game done. How good's this?
And I just remember saying, like, have we overreacted? You know, mate, is there something there?
I was still thinking, well, okay, I need to see a third quarter. I need to see a fourth quarter. I need to see what we can do next week.
Position well was Witts, but here's Harry. He'll relish that. The big tackle in front of the Carlton fans, who found a way to get it to Chera. Curnow, Longreach, Martin, Mackay, another one. High five, sharing the joy all around for the same. Grabbed by Owies, Cripps for a second, yes! What a difference when the captain's kicking them. Larson for Sexton. Can Kemp stop him? He can! Still Charlie. A handball. Trying to get it to DeConing. Needed a bit of luck. Oh, Ballard just hesitated. Owies shake the slipper. Nothing going wrong for Carlton. He's convinced it's a goal. We're right behind him. And so are all the Carlton fans as their captain makes it an afternoon to absolutely remember. Something in a difficult season. Siren sounds at the MCG. Footy can be fun if you're a Carlton fan. They remember the winning feeling. A big day for Harry Mackay and for Patrick Cripps. A huge day for Michael Voss. A big victory for the Blues. And boy, did they need it.
Honestly, it was a relief. And then I think there's something to be said for 26,000 people being at the MCG when we know that we can do more than that. And it was honestly, it was all stripped back.
We give so much, and for the longest time it wasn't reciprocated. So finally it felt like all of our emotional energy and our mental energy was reciprocated.
Starts today.
You gotta remember this feeling. You gotta do it next week because we need more win.
Siete fantastico, Forza Carlton!
So I'd seen enough in that 2 quarters. I was still apprehensive. Is it a flash in the pan? But I was very confident, especially the second half. Boys had found their identity. They'd found who they were.
And I was like, okay, we got the bye, completely reset. We've got the win, positive vibes, we can go again.
I've never been so excited for a bye. A lot of people were upset because they were like, we could get a roll on, let's keep playing. I was so excited because if that was a one-off, I could enjoy that win for a whole 2 weeks.
So I think it was just so exciting to know that there was a flame that was still lit somewhere.
And it gave us a building block, which was something, because at that time we had nothing.
I thought, wow, that is a brand of football and a style of football we haven't seen Carlton play this year. And if we can get that right and play that more often than not, we're onto something here.
Then we started to break teams down, didn't we?
Never, ever would have believed that we would win our next 3 coming out of that game and going into the bye. Never, ever.
Returning from the bye, a united team at Carlton, but Michael Voss concedes one win hasn't taken the pressure off their season.
You might as well go home. Like, you ain't beating us.
Lucky socks, mate. The lucky socks.
The Blues have boosted their finals chances after a 60-point win over Hawthorn. Carlton is sitting a game and a half outside the top 8.
Blues are back! The Blues are back!
September isn't off the cards for the Blues after that 60-point thumping at the G.
If we beat Freo, it's kind of on.
Yeah.
Carlton's final flame continues to flicker. They're putting on an absolute clinic in the West at the moment.
Now to Chera, can use it well. Unguarded goal square. The former Docker punishes.
And we didn't just limp over the line. We destroyed them. Start to finish, pillar to post.
We've been bullied by everyone, and now they're having to learn to be the bullies, and it must be hard.
We're going to beat them. We will. This is all falling into place.
Carlton is holding its breath for star forward Harry Mackay after he was subbed off with a knee injury. It didn't stop the Blues from surging towards a major upset against premiership contenders Port Adelaide.
Chera to Cripps. Even Newman.
3 games is okay. I've seen us win 3 in a row. Don't remember too many times seeing us win 4 in a row.
Lids off.
It's gone.
A career best 10-goal haul from Charlie Curnow has Carlton back inside the top 8 after demolishing West Coast by 71 points.
I wanted one of 3 of Port Adelaide, Collingwood or Melbourne. Just say we're going to get all 3.
Are we going to win the premiership?
Are we going to win the premiership? That's a very ambitious call.
Tim, put simply, home and away Friday night football doesn't get any bigger. Carlton effectively playing to keep their finals hopes alive against the old enemy Collingwood, trying to solidify their spot in the top 2.
Hi, it's Collingwood again. Round 20. We saw the comments from Still Side Bottom after the game in round 10.
I actually found myself laughing there a few times.
I really want to win this week. A whole world has changed since we last played them, and it has.
The last time they played Collingwood, they moved it slow, and Collingwood love this. They'll just give you as many of these marks as you want because you're going nowhere.
Yeah, certainly our form compared to then is somewhat different. We certainly hope that we put in a stronger showing. And
you have to take them on, don't you, which Carlton have started to do. Now they're going through the corridor, which is challenging the opposition defence.
I want to see them continue to play that team game that they have been.
And it's got to be our style that comes to the table on Friday night. It has to be.
Our depth is certainly being challenged, but we're all looking forward to testing ourselves.
There has been a bit of talk about the injury crisis at Carlton. I don't believe it's a crisis. We're just missing a few players. If we're really a good side, then the system will carry us through.
I'd expect any side that's on top of the ladder to be able to know how to play the entire game. So that's what they'll ask of us, is be able to play the intensity we need.
To me, Collingwood, right now, the needle is right on
full throttle. You must give them your absolute all, otherwise you're disrespecting them. So I think both teams feel that way about each other.
And the only way Carlton win this game of football is if they get their pressure right up and they try and spook the Pies into making mistakes.
You know, there will be a moment in the game, there will be a level of assertiveness displayed at some point for one of our big players and one of their big players, and I'm looking forward to seeing which way it swings the balance of the mental game.
The engagement is really, really high here. As high as I've ever seen it in any club over 30 years.
So we understand the night and the occasion, but we can't play the occasion. We've got to make sure we get after the game itself, and no, we're just looking forward to it. We're really excited.
The idea of us beating Collingwood, oh, man, what it would do for us, to our fans. I really think absolutely everyone jumps on board and it starts the real sound if they're able to get this scalp. Whatever the next 5 weeks will be.
Welcome back to the MCG, where Carlton's finals charge is about to undergo footy's ultimate test.
Traditional rivals Collingwood and Carlton go head-to-head. The ladder-leading Pies up against the reinvigorated Blues.
Cripps is back, Martin, Owies, Pitnet, Chera and March back. So there's some experience, some superstardom coming in, and they've got to be up for the fight, Carlton. They must be up for the fight. Their supporter group's been galvanised over the past 5 games, which they've won. But this is the test that they've been waiting for.
You have an accountability and the standards you want to set as a group and as a leader, what you want the culture to be and the way we want to play. I feel like now we know what makes us the best version of us as a side, and every week's a new challenge.
Collingwood, but let's have a look at it. Massive game, MCG. See you at quarter time.
Bout underway. Pendlebury, it's in good hands. Measuring ball to Goey. This for a very good start for the Magpies. Geordie to Goey. There we are.
Newman is a good kick. This will test him though. Doesn't look confident. Take a little handball off and a long ball by McGovern. Right to the line. Got it. He's looking in that direction, Richo. De Koning was boxed outside, bottom helped over the top. Little handball to Motlop. Certain goal, got their second. Trail by 2.
End up with it. And he got dropped. So some ill discipline creeping into this game of football. Creary kicks the goal. First of this second term. Half back here, Carlton.
Now Chera. Deep ball, look at this. Oh, he's got out the back. Beautiful kick by Newman it was as well, and Owies kicks the goal. Carlton lead by a goal here in the second quarter. Directly in front, kickers right on the 50. Distance not a problem. 4 Carlton goals in a row.
Chera goes off at halftime with hamstring tightness.
Abs, that is a huge loss for the Blues.
And, Paddy Dow comes on, so all of a sudden, you start thinking, those thoughts start creeping in. Oh, shit, he's our best player on the night so far, our best ball winner. Didn't matter. And then it was just a team performance.
Handball back inside to Newman. The counter-attack's on here with Owies. Owies looks carefully inside, places it for Curnow. Curnow is there, Quainer couldn't get there. Yes, he has slid that through. They respond.
Easy jump at the footy from McStay for his second, and he's got it. Martin's been huge. Here's Curnow for number 3. This is a star we're looking at.
He's making a go out of nothing really here, Charlie Curnow.
Three-quarter time, talking to the players, they just wanted that moment.
Wide journey around the corner here. Curnow on the one-on-one with Moore. This time I think it's a hold against Moore. Kicks the goal and never more important one. Newman. Cripps just like a bull, muscling his way through there. Moore's got another one-on-one here. Martin an almost opportunity. Motlop directly in front, kicks it. 30-point Carlton lead.
Fist away. Curnow's got 4. Great tackle. High. No, high. First time 5 against the Pies for Charlie Curnow. It's becoming a big night. Tom De Koning. Free kick.
Got it. Curnow.
To the Blues.
They blocked his run.
For number 6. 6 of the big ones. Seconds ticking down. Head gives it to Martin, who can stream in. And he misses. But the siren's going to sound. And victory doesn't come any sweeter if you're a fan of the Carlton Footy Club.
And Vossi's been through enough in his time to know how the whole industry works. So he was really confident in his processes, what he was doing. And one thing I really took from what he did through that time is how up and about and optimistic he was. And you talk about when you rock up, like we said before, when you lead your show up, he just showed up the same way, no matter win or loss.
We're playing that contest pressure footy, and if we stick to that, we show we can take it up with the best sides in the comp.
Their 2022 ended by the Pies. The Blues' dream of snapping a 10-year finals drought suddenly alive.
The Blues are riding high, just the third team in history to lose 6 straight in a season, then win 6 straight.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm a bit speechless, to be honest.
Not really.
Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to find my lid.
I have plenty to say.
In the words of Nate Diaz, I'm not surprised, motherfuckers. Let's fucking go.
You'll never sing that. You'll never sing that. 16 titles. You'll never sing that.
Oh, we're a real footy club, which is fantastic.
We were looking at a stage there where we didn't know where our next win was going to come from. And they're really playing a selfless brand of football. They're playing for each other and don't want to let each other down. And I think that's really obvious now.
When you have those core moments and memories, that's what that was last night. That was special. That meant a lot to a lot of people.
Is there a rule against nudity in StreamYard? Because I might just take my clothes off. That's how I feel. I'm not going to lie to you.
Who wants to get their dick out in front of 1,000 people?
There's trolling, and then there's just people who are just complete nutcases. Why would you do that?
It's just sad, Tez, that there's a big asterisk next to Charlie's Colburn this year because he had to play Collingwood twice.
Fucking Darcy more. You mean Darcy less? Darcy less.
Charlie just had him on toast. And they didn't know how to handle him.
I'm just feeling so happy to be out here and playing footy. It got taken away from me for a while, so just loving the feeling of the Blues crowd, and how good was tonight, Friday night footy. What a show.
They've talked about it for the last month. It was Gold Coast. Oh well, who cares? It's Freo, who cares? It's Hawthorn, doesn't matter. Port rested their whole team. What are they saying now? All of a sudden you beat the Pies and it's, well, maybe we can go further than this. Can we sneak into top 4? Can we win a few finals? Because now we're starting to play the best football out of anyone in the competition.
I spoke about looking forward to physical moments in the game which would garner some level of mental advantage, and I think we were the beneficiaries of those moments. And
the challenge come, we rised above, and thought that was really impressive. We feel like we've got something to gain. We've got something to go after. We've got something to chase. And we're not there yet, so we've got to keep chasing.
I love it.
I'll leave you with the song. This is the song that we were singing the entire fourth quarter, and we'll bring it back. Every week we follow to see the boys in blue. Greatest team in football. Carlton's golden few. Tough times have been hard. We'll follow near and far. You'll always hear us roaring from the stands of Icon Park. Allay, allay, allay! Allay, allay, allay! Allay! Tell you what, get fucked, Collingwood. See you in finals, you complete fucking frauds.
Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Oh, good.
Cheers.
Salute. I got 2 words for you and the Collingwood supporters and the Collingwood Football Club. I got 2 words. Night, night. Go Blues.
Owies lifting, handball, Doherty, 45 out, gave it off, down to finish it, and kick the goal.
Now for Ed, that's what they need, and maybe he'll get an opportunity because Motlop can pop one over the top to him. Ed Curnow can look inside 50, goes towards Charlie Curnow, 3 to beat, it gets to the back, Akers there, puts body pressure on, still a chance, Akers, does he turn and go himself, gives it off, Curnow snaps, and goals!
And just when they needed their superstar, he delivers. They've had the run, they've had to carry this last quarter. Ed Curnow got the ball out. It's a long one from Akers.
Akers from 55 metres out, an open goal, 3 needs to the back. Carlton going to win. Blues by 20. And the Blues take a huge step closer to their first final series in a decade. Carlton wins 7 straight for the first time since 2000.
So Carlton's rise.
There's a fascination around us at the moment, which when you win in a lot of games, that's what happens. And
it hit me this week. We're at the pointy end of the season, 3 games left. In order to clinch a spot in the finals, we have 1 more win to go. Spoke to Paul Sebastiani. He said, no, we've got 3 wins to go. And really the next few games, it's just going to be all out, all or nothing. Go back 12 months. We're back. Ready to do it again. Same position, got to win a game to get in. And what hit me was the realization of, what could be. And that's how close we are. We're right there. And for the guys to have a chance at redemption is special. I think the big difference this year is we play a different way.
The 2 things about them that had lingered for a long time, they were hostage to who was there. They're not anymore. Their system now absorbs absentee. And they were a bit fluky in defence, and now they have reinvented that. They have become sustainable and dependable.
We play a lot more consistently. We're not as ballistic.
That's the bedrock of their game, and they've returned their ball movement.
Now they're playing with confidence. Now they trust each other. They've got great flow. They've got great energy on defence, and now it's all just coming together. So
these boys right now are all on the same page. If you don't compete, you don't play, for a start. So don't think you're getting in this Carlton side if you don't compete. And then you don't have to be best on ground. Every time it's in your area, you fight like you've never fought before.
And I think Michael Voss deserves some credit, because 3 months ago, when he was fronting up to the press conferences and they were losing and couldn't score or couldn't move the ball, looked static, we were wondering where it was going to go.
he has every tool that a really successful senior coach needs. His ability to have hard conversations is outstanding, but his personal connection with each player is really, really good. And that's part of the role.
They lost to Collingwood in round 10, and he walked into the press conference and pretty much declared that their focus is around defence. Since that press conference, they've improved and tightened up in their back 50, and they're defending ball movement better than anything. So that pressure and effort and intensity that you're seeing to get after the ball helps them going forward, but it also has assisted their capacity to defend. And it's largely been off the back of the senior coach saying, this is my philosophy, this is what we're going to build our game plan off. Whether we're going well or not, this is where we start and this is where we finish.
The course of this season, whatever it amounts to, is to get through that patch, that self-destructive patch, hold their nerve, and actually make the in-season adjustments rather than have to wait for the next off-season. So that, I think that's superb coaching. We've known that for more than a month now, and the leadership buy-in around it. And this is why this will be the rise of Carlton, which we've been waiting an eternity for.
So it's a full credit to the club and everyone involved, but the job's not done. This week will be a very interesting week as well, because it will be for the 4th or 5th week we've played a team in the top 5 at the time of going into that game. Saints, Port, Collingwood, and now the D's.
They've been in some really strong form, and so have we. So we should have real strong belief with the system that we're playing at the moment. And
so we're getting some serious reps against some serious teams in the top half of the competition. And that's crucial for us.
That midfield area is going to be a significant part of the game.
The toughness of the two midfielders, I think that's where the game's going to be won and lost. Two absolute bull midfields.
It helps Melbourne set up their game, and it helps set up our game. So there'll be some really important battles that are the won and lost in there. And
the D's have beaten us 7 times in a row.
Whatever's actually happened is, somewhat now irrelevant. It's about what we do next and what we do now, and that was what we're really firmly focused on.
There's no excuses, no complaining. Just get the job done. Anyone, anywhere, anytime.
It had me on edge, and Carlton, they didn't yield, and Melbourne didn't yield either, and it was just two teams banging ahead.
This is as good a game of footy as we could hope for. Two teams on long winning streaks at the moment.
I love a great midfield matchup, and this one is mouth-watering, really, isn't it?
We've got a huge Saturday night footy game unfolding here at the MCG, and the whole country united by the Matildas.
Brown, Hunter tried to find Sparrow and then couldn't. Rivers down. Dow just goes long into the pocket. Charlie's there. Charlie flies. Charlie will have a second look.
Huge chance. Akers could play on. Cosy Pickett, brilliant.
Ball floats forward again. Martin flies off the ground. Just tried to soccer it through.
This time Melbourne was scoreless in a quarter. It was round 1, 2019. The handball over the top, back to Chandler. Melksham's a known goal kicker, takes on the tackler. Langdon's worked super hard. It's the first inside 50 Melbourne for 22 minutes. And Langdon, remarkably, it's going to be a goal apiece.
Umpire shuffles, but not too much. Last 2 weeks, 9-7 for the year. Never, ever missing. Play on! 55, puts it to a dangerous spot. Akers. Blues are in front of the G.
Koning, got a look at it. Oliver's thrown it, has he? Four-time best and fairest winner superstar. Is he on the verge of his first finals campaign? 5-12 for the year. He's got it.
Into Hewitt, onto the left to Kerno. A little bit too far out, but that kick is 13 out of 10. Orange finishes. Blues, they go berserk. They pitch a lead for the square. The Koning has it knocked away. Max Gorn wasn't clean. The Koning, little handball. Bowie, he wasn't. Doherty was. How's that? 4 goals, about 4 minutes of football. Back to 14 points.
After an extended layoff with a hamstring tendon issue, Akers has bitten off more than he can handle. Genuine heart and soul player for the D's. Difficult shot. Good looking effort. Better than good. Alex Neil-Bullen takes his moment. 6-6, 42 apiece. Carlton looking for their 8th win in a row. The D's looking for 6 on the trot. There's Krebs, put it out in front of Dow. Porton first centre clearance, goes the way of Carlton. Cottrell played it well. Now trying to guide it back inside 50, crashing through Hollands.
He's kept back with numbers. Holland's really well done in front of Owies. Flying shot. Owies. Simply brilliant.
Here comes their leader to Dow. Fogarty waits for it to settle onto the right boot, floats the ball forward. Again, the Blues have got the right answers this time. De Koning steps out.
Got to the right spot here.
Only 5 for the year. He stabs at it, but he stabs it through. Back-to-back goals. Blues by 2 goals.
Lockie Hunter with his trademark underground disposal. Oh, Kent! Brilliant effort.
Big ball here. So often it's Viney who wins it. Hunter couldn't quite find Salem, so the Blues are away again. This time Cripps' delivery spot on to Charlie Curnow. 9 kicks for the night. Kicked the first goal of the evening. Charlie's got 2. Blues have got a 3-goal lead. Goes towards full forward. Sparrow's kick knocked down by Cincotta. Kemba's there too. Little kick. Have a look at that. Cozzy back to 2 goals.
Now wearing his father Sean's number at Melbourne, Joel Smith has led back on it and nailed it. Back to within 6 points.
Rivers sidesteps Charlie. Rivers goes low towards the forward 50. And suddenly Petrarca, who's a thumping kick.
He winds up. He gives it every opportunity. Hang on a minute.
I was sitting there just going, please don't overrule this. Like, you can't lose this way.
There will be a score review.
Umpire's call is touched, one behind.
And the umpire's soft call is touched.
Please be touched. Please be touched. Please.
Please
be the umpire's call.
With 41 seconds to play, we go to a score review.
It's going to be a brave umpire upstairs to overturn this call.
Looking at these angles, there is insufficient
to determine 4-point game.
So with 41 seconds on the clock, the umpire upstairs has said umpire's call.
That didn't look like it was touched.
And they are absolutely steaming the Demons fans.
I won't say it was perfect, that last 5 minutes. There was, if you watch behind the goals, it was absolute chaos. 20 guys would have gone up in that last contest, and everyone's just trying to do the right thing.
They want some bad pin in there with a little bit of a panic. They want the boundary line. That'll be deliberate. Paid holding the footy. I think he meant deliberate. It's going to come back with May. 24 seconds. Can they take a mark? Max Gorn nearly got it. Beautifully done back there to Akers. Precious seconds tick off. It's going to come back again. 12 seconds and counting.
He rolls the dice here, Lever. There's a pack of about 20. Singley O'Barry. Ball off hands. It's Hewitt. He gets it out the back door. They're going to win here, the Blues. They're going to win. They're going to play in September for the first time in a decade as they claw home by 4 points.
They're on their way, you sense.
Mate, that final siren, when that thing blew, memories you never forget.
Michael Voss, he is loving it tonight, as are all the fans in the change rooms. You get the feeling this one's going to be sung pretty loudly because Carlton, they won 8 straight, a 4-point victory over the Melbourne Demons.
I'll start it off, Kath. Da 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 da.
That was unbelievable.
That was unbelievable.
No surprise, motherfuckers.
How good is that feeling? What a crowd. What a moment. What a game.
I thought Collingwood was all right. St Kilda was pretty good as well.
I think this tops it. I struggle to explain it. It still probably hasn't fully sunk in just how idyllic that whole night was.
That was truly an example of why sport is the greatest thing on earth.
That final siren against Melbourne was just, up until that point, I'd never felt anything like that in my life supporting this club. Never. the relief, like just the pure relief that we actually did it.
Terry, if you don't feel rougher than I do tomorrow when you're doing this, you've done it wrong. 'Cause I tell you what, I would be looking at getting deported tonight if I was in your shoes.
Mate, that was just tough footy. Jeez, we had a tough one to watch in terms of physicality, and just finals like footy. So, mate, just great win for the boys. It was just hung tough there late.
And I think we needed to win like that. I think it needed to be a tough, gritty, defensive win. And that's what it was. And a lot is starting to make sense, to be honest with you.
53 seconds in limbo as the ARC operator studied those three angles. And what does it mean? So 10 of the 12 places featured there changed hands again.
You're suggesting the technology
isn't good enough. That if this may well cost Melbourne, a home final. If this was a final or a grand final, that this goal line technology, and that's the best that we've got.
It doesn't look like it was touched, which is a totally different conversation as can you prove it wasn't touched.
Where did you hit it? Was it on your fingertips or your forearm? Where did the ball hit you?
On the fingertips. But I'm just hoping for anywhere.
You've got to believe, Lockie. You've got to believe, Lockie Plowman. Caleb Marchek, sorry. You've got to believe Caleb Marchek.
Well, it's case closed then, isn't it?
Yeah.
If he says he touched it, then he touched it.
Thank you, Caleb Marchbank.
Did you think it was touched? You're due for a bit of luck, I reckon, mate.
At this point in time, it doesn't really matter to me. We'll just call it that it was touched, and we'll take the 4 points and walk away.
It looks like we have all but clinched a spot in the finals. Obviously, if we go and lose a couple of games and results don't go our way, we could fall out. Yes, we're playing finals, mate. Get the fuck out of here.
And I'm going to actually remember it, and I'm going to be there, and it's going to be incredible.
Waited so damn long to say that.
It is us all the way, baby! All the way! This is it! This is it!
Carlton beat Melbourne in a round that is a multiple of 11.
Go the boys!
Let's go! On the 12th of the month, with the Matildas scoring a goal at a World Cup in the same month.
No way.
Was 1995. Can't the Blues! Can't the Tillies! Let's
You spend your life working towards something, waiting. You almost get so caught up in waiting that when the moment arrives, you sort of don't know how to take it. And that's kind of what it feels like right now.
And have a look at them now. They're arguably the most exciting team in the competition.
We're the best team in the comp, in the whole competition. Indication. This is special.
Because we had won the games that every single person, including Carlton supporters, non-Carlton supporters, media, always knew that Carlton don't win. So we had stuck the middle finger up at a lot of people and said, you know what, we do win these games.
Says if we were a top four side, every single person would be saying that we're the flag favourite right now.
Yeah, what I love about it, Kane, is it's not Cripps relying anymore. There's so many other players.
The unheralded players, Marchbank and Cottrell.
Well.
So just those players that were lesser names, I guess, at the start of the season, through opportunity, have held up, and that has added to their depth.
And so to do it in that manner, to do it knowing that it was based on system and not on individual brilliance, makes it so much more special.
Again, we just keep backing up. We want to make sure that we're humble and we've got some humility, and we'll try and get 9 on the trot.
Does anyone know how to book grand final tickets?
I have one question for you, Terry. Who's fucking next? Which one of these dirty fucking pathetic shit shows of a club wants it next? Because they can all have it, one after one.
There's a fair bit of grit, determination, and the boys are just pulling up every week and doing a job, and it's good to be a part of.
Job's not done. Our job is not done. So we feel like we've still got more to give. There's still more season to play out. There's no guarantee still, and we've got to keep earning the right. So that's a pretty tough message to give to the team straight after we've just won like that.
Gold Coast, do we have to travel up there? Can't they just give us the 4 points? If you don't believe now, we can't make you fucking believe.
When that belief kicks in, there's a fear of believing. There can be, because a fear of believing means you're willing to put yourself in a situation where you could get hurt and you could fall. But that's the only way that you can really succeed in anything.
So this is the best yet for Carlton.
Oh yeah, that was mighty.
Carlton will see action in September for the first time since 2013.
Hi Blue Baggers, welcome to finals football.
There it is. We can finally say it.
It's fair to say it's been a journey to get here.
The besties were at the front of Gate 3 at the MCG, as they always are.
Here at the MCG, but this time it's for finals. How old were you during the 2013 elimination final?
22. You want to see the photo?
Zoom in on this one.
And it's just worth the wait. It was worth the wait. This is why all of us really support. This is why we go to the football. It's deep and it's beautiful. And it is a wonderful time to be alive. You know, this is the best team I've seen, and this is the first time in my life, and I'm dead serious, that we go into a finals series, and I believe we are capable of winning the flag. So I'm just going to enjoy every moment, embrace every moment.
And Tim, the Carlton faithful are lapping up September.
Yeah, the buzz around the place has been massive. The boys are excited. And
just a few months ago, their fans were at breaking point now, showing nothing but love.
There's a lot to be excited about, and now we get to, I feel, really unify our generations of supporters. And for the first time, we get to all combine and all be on that same page to support a brand new team, so to speak, you know, a brand new era.
I think it's their opportunity to win a big final at the G.
I'm feeling good about it. I'm a little bit nervous.
They've got some of the biggest stars in footy with zero finals experience, but no team has seen the depths of Carlton only to rise back up in the space of 12 months.
Where the facts are is that in the last 3 years, we're the only team that hasn't played in finals football. But what we have been exposed to we've been exposed to that environment. You know, we've had these really harsh losses.
A pre-final scrap, setting the tone for a Friday night blockbuster. Mark Pitnett and Matt Kennedy fired up ahead of their first ever final.
It was an important session for us today.
I think our training environment has really prepared our players well, and they go out pretty hard, the boys.
You want to make a good account of ourselves on Friday night. We're playing against a great opposition, so no, we're really looking forward to it.
I think this group have been building and waiting and visualising this for too long.
You know, I feel like we're ready. We might be the new kids on the block, but I feel like we're ready.
You only get one chance at a first impression, and we are going to learn a lot about a lot of people this Friday night.
When you're out there, you're spotting raccoons, people. You know,
where did the raccoons come in? I didn't get the.
When you're spotting raccoons, you've got no time. I don't know if you've been raccoon hunting, Howard, but when you're raccoon hunting, you bang, bang, bang. You got no time, and that's what it's like out in the arena, Howard.
Ultimately, you have a choice, and what I'm excited to see is who is going to embrace those nerves and that fear and thrive under it, and who's going to need some more work under it.
The fight is in the mind. It's not in the body.
As long as we go with that right mindset, play that physicality like we know we do, then we'll back ourselves against anyone.
I'm really looking forward to that. I'm really proud of what the group's been able to do.
And you know what finals football brings is you just want to make sure you're bringing out whatever that best version of you is, and you know the small things in the game that need to be able to get done. That's where the attention goes. The little things make the difference.
And laying a big tackle or shepherd or doing something selfless. Those are the things that I think are crucial for us this week.
What is finals football in your eyes, Bozzy?
Look, what's the main thing that changes? There's an end. And you know there's an end. So, you know, if you win, you carry on. And if you don't, you know, it's a harsh finish regardless.
What about leading up?
Well, I think the biggest thing you can possibly do through finals is stay totally present to the moment. Don't drift out to the outcome. Really enjoy what you're doing, and that's what we intend to do.
I just can't wait to be there nice and early at the MCG, just to smell the air.
Becomes more about the task than necessarily the occasion now.
Well, Carlton fans are eagerly awaiting the gates opening at the MCG for the Blues' first finals appearance in a decade against the Swans tonight. Let's go back now to Ainsley Kosh outside the MCG. Ainsley, the weather shouldn't stop a bumper crowd from turning out there tonight.
Peter, the wet weather certainly isn't dampening the spirits of Carlton fans here tonight. They've been lining up for hours in anticipation for tonight's blockbuster finals match against the Sydney Swans.
And Tom, the Blues have gone in tall despite the rain.
Last night, despite these similar conditions, we saw long kicks down the line. The Blues are adamant they can be very effective despite the weather tonight.
Rain and hail.
Don't really mind, actually. It doesn't matter, so play on a car park if you like, but no, we'll turn up and we'll put the team out there that we think gives us the best chance to be able to win, and we'll take on a very good opposition.
Now look forward to the Australian national anthem. That first moment after it finishes, the last line, and then the roar of the crowd.
1,000 plus, roar goes out, everyone gets off the deck except for the players who are about to go into battle.
It's Carlton, it's Sydney at the MCG, and this is it. This is what we have been waiting for. Weeks, months, years. Bring it on, I say.
Big job for them.
Yeah, we haven't spoken about that end of the field that much. You know, Amadi, when he gets going, is as good a contested marker in the game.
Mills has gone to Paddy Cripps in the middle of the ground, so a bit of push and shove going on between the superstars. Wiedering goes to Amadi.
Expect Papley to charge forward out of the centre bounce.
Doherty and Gould down here on centre wing. The lights are flashing. The balls are aloft. We'll see you quarter time.
Listen to that noise.
Reckon Sydney are finals professionals. Go hard at the footy when it's time to go hard at the footy. That's what they do best.
The Blues are going to kick the first goal of the game. Here, Doherty loved it off the boot, and you couldn't script it any better.
After all he has been through.
Explores the 50, turnover target. In front was Martin. The handball over the top. Here's Mackay, shuffled it out to Curnow.
Listen to the roar!
There were 2 minutes, the Blues. The MCG's erupted.
Struggle to find two names that get a crowd going with the goal more than those two. So that was the perfect start.
It's not a bad idea throwing Heaney into the middle. Last time these two sides played, he had 7 clearances.
Look out, Hodgie, turnover. What's he got from the set shot? It looks great. The Swans, first goal of the night. He's got Mackay out the back in a one-on-one. Big Harry, boot to ball. Oh no! He has missed from point-blank range.
A couple of Carlton legends over there. Big Sellers has gone off his brain in the box next to us, Howie.
That's harder to miss than it is to kick from where he was. All he had to do was make any decent contact to certain goal.
Looks down towards Curnow, DeConing out the back. Oh, he's put this in your book. Oh, no! Oh, somehow I think in the end it might be touched.
If it's not a goal, it's one of the dumbest passages of play I've ever seen.
Too unselfish again, Chief.
No, dumb. Not unselfish, dumb.
After all of that,
it is.
It is.
Review complete. Looking at this angle, we can see a gap between the ball and the post at all times. Decision on the scoreboard.
He can't believe it, Matty Owies, but in the end it's a goal. Bangs a long one. Lloyd can't quite complete the mark. Risky hand pass. Hayward falls to ground. The Blues are coming from everywhere. Getting around Cottrell. He's going to kick his second. And he does! Oh, the Blues! They're rolling now!
Hewitt didn't even try in the end. Pops it up for an opportunity. Pitnet. And a high tackle. Jack Martin will get the free. Martin to extend the margin for a 3-goal to zip quarter for the Blues. He gets his first goal.
The last 4 goals of the game go the way of Carlton, and they have blown this out to a 30-point margin. Carlton 6-5-41, Sydney 1-5-11.
Needs to guide it onto the boot cleanly, and he does. And that's a goal. Nice goal. The Blues bounce straight back to that 29-point margin.
And it is the Blues who've dominated this first half, 7-5-47. Swans 2-6-18.
The set shot much more difficult. Low, swift ball. Mackay!
We've seen him kick him around the corner from here before.
Not putting it in the book, but it's as good as there. Crowd will tell you everything. He missed.
He's missed another one. Goodness gracious me. Offhand, Sydney pressing here now. Carlton closing. That's coming back. That's miraculous. He's got it. So here come the Sydney Swans. McDonald 20 metres out directly in front, no mistake. Look at the energy. They're going to draw from this Sydney.
Cottrell's off. McCartan with a thump. Hewitt. Chera. Bang! Warner. Lloyd. Blakey. No, holding the ball. Cripper, the skipper, will line up to
this, Chief. I'm declaring it will be the biggest roar of the night. 180 games before tonight. Hasn't played in a final, the skipper. He's been there for year after year when the club have failed to deliver. He's lived hard times after hard times.
If this goes through, listen up. Listen up.
Sydney, Mackay with the spoil. The game's on the line here in the last 2.5 minutes of this quarter.
And Harry does not look good at all.
No, that's him gone, JB.
But yeah, that fourth quarter was quintessential finals football. It was glorious.
Hickey! Oh, he had a good piece. He had a really good piece of that.
They're not going to concede. Chincotta. Oh, no! Coughed it up, Chincotta, and the goal goes to Parker. A brain fade of epic proportion.
Goulden, where's he going with this? Errol Goulden! Did anyone touch it? Akers says he did.
He's the goalkeeper, Akers.
I don't know. I believe he's behind him.
Is that the second one?
Touch, and then also check on the line to see if it was kicked. Yep.
Yeah, okay. Score review. Umpire's call is touch behind. Please confirm if it was touch and if it was kicked before
Review
the line.
underway.
It's too blurry, though, to be categoric.
Will they overturn this? Soft calls are behind.
You can't overturn that.
Papley.
Don't think he's got the distance.
Goes into the pocket now for McDonald. Broken out of his hands. And a behind.
Great help side by Walsh.
Time starting to tick away here for the Swans. First back onto it. It gets past Campbell. 2v1 here. Surely a goal, Blues. Akers, there's your game. Cunningham, Akers on the charge, bouncing ball. Blakey, did he try and take that tackle on?
McInerney looking for any running support. Got it on the boot, took it forward, and Mark again. Mark does it again in defence for the Blues.
McCartan's been really good. He's just going to go.
He drives one forward. Last chance for the Swans. Parker's outnumbered. Falls to the back. Hang on, snap out of Parker's a goal. 27 seconds on the clock.
I said they've done enough. 25 seconds.
Carlton have been in front of this game for 121 minutes and 1 second. There's 25 seconds left. 6-point margin. Huge centre clearance coming up.
Hickey reaching. Pettinet to Krebs, and we'll have another ball up. 18 seconds.
They trained for this, Carlton. All of their forwards lined up on the 50 and sprinted in to get numbers.
And we looked like Harry Mackay coming off the field because we both almost passed out. Like, I think we yelled that loud after the Newman's mark and the siren that it reverberated. I didn't hear the siren.
An opportunity, 6 seconds. I think they've done it.
Mark taken by Newman. The Blues are going to get the job done. Wait for the siren. There it is. Carlton after 10 long years out of the finals. They sneak over the Swans by 6 points in a classic. They'll take on Melbourne next week. They are the Navy Blues.
If there's a rumour about whether you can play in a final with no experience, guess what? You can.
Oh my God, get that Kool-Aid out. The Kool-Aid's absolutely coming out tonight.
Enjoy it, bro. Just go with it.
Very special. What a day. What a night. My head is thumping at the moment, but doesn't matter. It just does not matter.
Bang the drum! Bang the drum!
Mate.
Carlton boys, we're on a bender.
Yeah, it's going to be one to remember.
Watchers March in September. We've got some real fucking bowls. Big bowls. Who's next?
A juggernaut, Carlton are, in terms of their crowd. Like, they've just been waiting for a team to perform for them, and they've all come from everywhere, which they should, because it's an exciting time to be part of Carlton.
You know, dare to dream. It really is like that. Who says we can't win next week?
That's what you play footy for, big games, and I just love the way we attacked it. We went after it.
I'm at the stage now you could pick any dickhead. I don't care anymore. I have no favourites. I have no preference. I just want to see 23 people in blue. And when they do, they go out there and play for us.
Yeah, no, it's bananas in there at the moment. Everyone's really enjoying the win. Everyone's lapping it up.
Being able to see all the families with smiles on their faces and have that sort of 20 minutes post-game with the boys, which it's always a great feeling, that moment after the match. And
You don't have to ride in on a big white horse. All you got to do is get the cash.
System-wise, definitely some things we can tighten up on that we did better in the first half and the second half. So we just see that as room for improvement to come out of the game and bring in for the Melbourne game.
You play that game, say, a year or two ago. We don't just lose, we lose by a lot.
It wasn't Curnow and Cripps. No. I think to a degree it was Wiedering. It was Jack Martin, it was Chincotta, it was Matty Cottrell, and
Saba.
Akers, who was playing Saw clearly.
Yep.
He was absolutely brilliant.
Blake Akers. Wow. It was Kane Corn saying, we don't need Arc, we just need a really good photographer behind the goals.
This is the photo from Michael Wilson there, which is better than the Arc technology confirming that was touch, but he convinces the goal umpire that I've touched it, so the umpire's call is touched, and then they were never going to overturn that.
The group and the club really stuck together, and we're going to enjoy this one tonight and then back to business for next week.
It's going to get tougher from here. 1 down, 3 to go.
On to next week. Play the D's. Wouldn't change a thing.
Can you smell what the Blues are cooking?
And there's still so much more to come.
Countdown is on to the do-or-die semi-final between Melbourne and Carlton tomorrow night.
Full house sign will be up at the MCG on Friday night, with the blockbuster semi-final between Melbourne and Carlton already a sellout.
By 3 p.m, every seat had been snapped up.
The victory over Sydney was soured by a concussion to key forward Harry Mackay.
And they've got a problem with Jack Martin getting 2 weeks for this hit on Nick Blakey. We always knew it was going to have a match review office consequence. And
what should Carlton do, Eddie? They've got a couple of players to replace, Harry Mackay and Jack Martin.
There's some big decisions that they need to make.
Is it going to be Matt Kennedy? Is it going to be Jack Silvani?
I think there'll be a handful, if not more, of guys putting their hand up for that role. So I'm sure Train will have that intensity about it, which is what we need.
I guess the silver lining is that you've already played without him for a stretch this year, and you've seen how that might look.
I think Vossi spoke in the presser, or even to us last week. It's a squad that wins finals, not just a team of 22. So I think that'll shine out this week if we can get the guys to step up.
Someone's going to step up. I have full faith. Someone is going to step up. Maybe a group of them will step up.
Careful not to be the one and done. We've got a pretty important job this week to do.
And I've noticed a really calm and ready energy from the Carlton supporter base, which is not something that I generally say.
Still today, I'm walking around seeing them wearing their jumpers, and they're all proud. I think why not celebrate?
Yeah, the buzz outside the stadiums before both of those first 2 finals was unforgettable. We no longer need to worry about what's going wrong, and we need to start enjoying what's going right.
Having now been exposed to it, we sort of know what's coming, both what's coming inside the arena, but what's coming on around it as well.
At both times we played in this year, been a bit of a defensive struggle, so that'll be a bit of fun.
I've learned that the contested side of the game is the most important in finals.
There's a lot of work being put in to get ourselves to this particular position. And
I think to beat Melbourne this week, we're going to have to bring out the best of Melbourne and also beat the best of Melbourne, and I can't see this being anything other than a close game. And if anything, I'm just ready for a close game. Like, I'm ready for it to be a 1-point thriller, or also hopefully a blowout for us, because that'd be really enjoyable. But I'm ready.
I can't wait for Friday again.
Semi-final time at the MCG. It is a huge one. Carlton versus Melbourne tonight.
Matchup that is.
Run us through that semi-final. Oh, it's probably...
It's like a movie. It was like watching a movie.
The corner and they'll get another look. Petrarca wants to play on. He does from the boundary and he's rammed it home. Christian Petrarca, what a start.
Rivers comes through. He's stripped of the ball. Gone.
Let it go.
And they continue to go here. The skipper's unhappy. Wide open Motlop. No one anywhere near him wants to go, and he kicks a goal. Awesome.
Knocking to himself. Can he get rid of it? He does. Fogarty. Back to Kennedy. Kennedy to Walsh. Walsh with the right foot banana. They've hit the front of the Blues.
Big start this would be for the Blues. Kennedy. Oh yeah. Right through the middle. Pickett with a brilliant pickup. French turns around, kicks the goal. What about that? Oliver tried to burst his way through. Pickett picked the pocket. Dribbles it. Home. Melbourne in front. The tackle. Inside he goes with a beautifully steered ball. Not able to mark it though, Smith.
Well done, Sardi. That's not a freak. You can't do that. Stupid. Have a listen to those imbeciles.
If you don't know the rules, don't come to the footy. Sit down. The lot of you.
Just one goal separates Melbourne from Carlton at three-quarter time in the semi-final.
It has been a grind. It's been an arm wrestle. I'm running with the logic. You're up at quarter time. We were up at half time. You're up at three-quarter time by goal. Surely that means that the final quarter, the Blues come back. Well, I have no doubt that they're going to have an absolute dip at it in this last term. It goes by how the last few games between our teams has gone.
Hewitt came through well. Walsh has been unbelievable. Flying shot, and he gets it. Scores tie.
45 metres out. Punt road in. He nurses it home. Neil Bullock does really well. Got the little handball off here to Spargo. Spargo from 45. Pickett on the lead. Keziah Pickett. 45 metres out directly in front. To get it back to all square. No problems at all for this man.
Wiedering involved again. Pickett. Brilliant handball. French. Melbourne by 7 points. Second of the night for French.
The vibe was really high, but it was tense. It was really tense.
10 minutes into the last, you feel like there's another swing in the momentum to come. But it's a handy start in this last quarter.
That last 10 minutes, Stephen May was intercepting everything in that fourth as well. Everything we tried to do didn't work.
May has had some sort of night.
Gone missed a sitter. Viney missed a sitter.
Max Gorn, right foot banana, thumps it into the post.
I remember doing the watch along. I remember getting angry with everyone because there was quite a large people had given up.
I checked out. Completely checked out mentally from that game.
Go Saba. First there, gathers the footy. Around the body. Got to bring it to ground.
No. Now we're done. We're done.
Not yet.
Yeah, where's?
Not yet.
I was almost crying from disappointment and hurt that it was over.
And I thought, you know what, great season.
Even if we lose this, I'm not going to be
distraught because we have done what we said we were going to do, and to even be here for this moment is incredible in itself.
I think that was the game that I said for the next 10 minutes, you're all honorary English. English people don't give up. English people fight till the last one's dead. So I was like, they need us. They need us to scream, make your excuses tomorrow. For now, we're going to die. We're going to die and we're going to win this game.
Have just got to waste a bit of time on the clock here. Stuff like that from Petrarca, although that'll be ruled deliberate. Got to get back quickly now, if you Melbourne. No one on the mark. Newman can take some metres if he wants, and he does. Launches a long bomb. Can anyone get on the end of this? Got out the back here. Kerno Bowie was good.
Martez! Fucking yes! Fucking dance for me, brother! That is out of nowhere. What an audacious guess. What he did, he played on. What about the kick? God.
And then I looked up and I just remember thinking, wait a minute, could this not be over?
One more. Yes, he might. One more.
You just saw it unfold, man.
We use a phrase a lot here, blink and you'll miss it.
I've watched it a million times now.
Mate, where were you when Doc somehow marked that ball and was out in open space?
Where were you when that goal went through?
I'll try and think of something else outside of that. No, I can't. It's Blake Acres. It just is. It just is. For all his flaws that were discussed throughout the season, forgotten. All forgotten. Because of moments.
It doesn't matter what's happened the game before. It doesn't matter what's happened the minute before. When your moment arises, you've got to take it with both hands, and that's what he did.
Come on, Cripper. Just keep going. Come on, give us a miracle. Come on, footy gods, give us a miracle.
So I see this play happen literally in front of me.
Wiedering intercepts. He looked inboard straight away, and we all did because we knew we had to take the corridor.
Harden, what a performance. Viney gets the crummage, though. Kicks it straight in the middle. Now we're going to go. Switches on. Ollie.
Hollins marks it. I see Hollins kick it to Doherty.
Switches on. Ollie Hollins marks. Come on, get it to Doc.
And you start to think, he can't lift his arm. He's not taking this. And
I didn't realise McVie was as close as he was. And he was closing quick. When he went past me, I thought I don't know how he hasn't taken me out.
It was like time stood still at that moment of, does he have this mark or has he been spoiled? And yes, come on, Doc! Come on, Doc! Come on, Doctor! There was like a delay in my brain where he's already taken off and I haven't even processed that he's marked the ball yet.
You could hear people standing up, if that makes sense. Like you could hear the gasp of...
When I turned around, I saw a lot of white jumpers and not many Demons jumpers, and that sort of scares you a little bit because you've got so many options, you don't know which one to pick. I opted for the longest one, yes. The one closest to the goals, and
I knew that he kicked it, and I just hear a massive roar. I'm thinking, there is no way he's just kicked this goal from 55 metres out.
And as the ball is in the air, you can hear someone 4 rows behind us was taking video, and I screamed. All I said was acres, so loud that you can hear me say it over the top of all this other noise. And mate, he marks that ball, and
I hear this noise. It wasn't a cheer; it was just noise.
He's got someone wrong in the goal square. He's got Acres. Acres will come up. Oh my God!
I almost passed out, I'll be honest. Like, that's where my soul left my body. Like, I absolutely broke down.
You cannot manufacture that feeling or that emotion. That is as raw and pure a moment of euphoria as it gets.
I almost missed the goal as well because I was jumping up and down so much that it took me so long to realise again that he'd just kicked the goal.
The ground's rocking. I normally sit out in the open. I was under some seats. I thought the whole roof was going to cave in.
Like, I thought that I was on level 2. I thought I was going to fall down because it was genuinely shaking.
I looked to my dad and my dad's friend. They weren't celebrating. It was just pure shock. Like, it was pure like, what? How? That is what? Like, that's all it was.
Your watch is going off telling you you need to be careful because the noise is too loud. My heart rate, my phone's going, hey, your heart rate's a little too high. You might want to sit down.
Does well. Stay in the contest though. Hunter wins it. Oh, he wraps him up. Holding the ball. Chance.
That's now. Hold the ball. And smothered. Great smother.
Don't let it out. Lehman didn't want it. He didn't want it. He didn't want it. Tagoni. Hunter's gone forward.
Come on, let's
20 metres out. Off the ground. It's a bloody goal. Get the points of the goal. How long now?
I go, how long's left? And he does this thing, which I'll never forgive him for doing. He just looks at his phone, because I hate people who go early. But he looks at his phone and he goes, oh, we've won. And I'm like, shut the fuck up.
It's got to be ours. They can't get it down there. They can't beat it down at 7.
You realise it's happening.
I grab my dad and then I just hear the siren.
It all comes flooding out.
If I could bottle the feeling there and at that final siren and have that for the rest of my life, that would be just the greatest moment of all time.
And I jumped I felt like I'd run a marathon. I just collapsed. And I was just on the ground hugging my dad's leg as he's jumping, fucking kneeing me into the seat.
And there's no shame, there's no embarrassment. Like, I look like a freaking purple people eater in the face, but it didn't matter. Like, I didn't care. Like,
being there with my sister and my girlfriend, just absolutely jumping up, hugging, I reckon, every single person in that bay at the MCG.
There were people from 3 rows down jumping 6 rows back just to hug strangers. Like, I was bawling, I was crying, bawling my eyes out. I've never seen Dan cry. He was crying. My parents were crying. Like, everyone's just
bawling my eyes out. Like, when I say bawling my eyes out. And I just remember hugging everyone around me, and it was just such a magical experience. And
I just didn't know what was happening.
Mate, fucking... I've never... and it wasn't till halfway through the second song where I was actually able to stand up without my dad holding me up. It's one of the most special moments. I'm still shaking, mate.
And I remember staying in the MCG for another half an hour after that because I just couldn't believe what I'd witnessed.
Do you believe in miracles? Never let this dream end.
I've had goosebumps all across my body this last 3 minutes that we've been talking about this. I can place myself in that moment for the rest of my life and remember exactly how I felt.
Speaks to the wonder of football. And you talked about when we started his Carlton life. I think that's proof Carlton's life.
I said we get him.
We're going to do it again next week.
I said we get him. Oh, what just happened?
We're start with that. You can go anywhere.
It was like their season. They were gone and then they came back. And in this game, they were gone and they came back. That's exactly what it was.
Let's go! Where does one begin? Seriously, where do you begin with that? This club, man.
Carlton is daring to dream this morning, winning through to its first prelim final in almost a quarter of a century after a September battle for the ages.
That's living. The coning's in the air.
Everywhere I look around.
If this ain't living, I don't know what is.
Like, it's up there with getting married, holding my babies. It's up there.
Oh, coward boys! We're all the Bender Watchers March in September. Do you hear Melbourne sing? Shh, shh. Do you hear Melbourne sing? I can't hear a fucking thing.
The most incredible game, the most incredible experience of my life.
The drought-breaking victory over Melbourne, sparking pandemonium in the stands and also on the streets.
On Lygon Street, it was like they'd won the World Cup.
I don't think we've had a roar like this in a football match for a long, long time.
Pure ecstasy. I've never cried at a game, but after the song played a couple of times, I just stood there for a minute and just hugged my dad, and then I just, I shed a few. I care so much.
After the game, I was crying for 45 minutes. I couldn't move.
So do we get into the nitty-gritty of the game? No, we don't. We don't.
To keep saying you can't fight destiny, Terry, you can't. You can run away from it, you can hide in your bed, but how much more proof you need? Crib's broken nose, fucking dog's shoulder went into fucking next week. Ollie Holland's named as sub. Destiny. Just embrace it. How good is that?
Oh, that was a great contest. Like, we knew it was going to go down the wire, but hard to put it in the words at the moment.
That was just a cracking game of footy.
It's one of the toughest games of footy I've ever played.
That was one of the best games I've ever seen, seriously. One of the best games I've ever seen.
Boys just dug deep and proud of them.
Yeah, it just showed a lot of character in our group, and it's a win for everyone tonight.
There's just this inevitability of you have to kill us before we lose this game.
Full of errors, but somehow found a way through some will and some grit and some courage, and were able to hit the scoreboard at the end. So I guess that's what matters, was being in front at the end.
For that group to get back together, led by Michael Voss and Patrick Cripps, and get into a preliminary final, that is special. That is really, really special. It is. This is what footy is and what it can do.
Oh, it's hard to explain, to be honest. It's the chaos of the occasion, the game, our change rooms. Never seen so many people in a room, to be honest. We got ropes to keep everyone back, and it was just a free-for-all tonight, but there was people everywhere. I don't know how they all got in there, but...
That's the biggest crowd I've been in front of, and that roar there, like, I couldn't even hear you talk then. It was so cool.
Like, I'm a big follower of other sports, but it's just crazy. Yeah, it's loud. They're up and about the Carlton Army, so it's good to see. You play footy to playing games like this, so there's no way I'll miss, and I just love being out here with these guys and this atmosphere and in front of this crowd.
He's a cult hero forever.
Sure.
Message at three-quarter time from Vossi. How did he compose the group?
Yeah, he was great. He just said, boys, this is the situation we want to be in. If you had told us this 2-3 months ago, you wouldn't believe him. So the thing is, we just want to become that team that's reliable to each other and plays that tough, hard footy that stands up in finals.
It's all about who wants it more, and no one wants it more than these boys. No one. It just shows where we've come as a football team. We're a mature group. And that holds us in good stead because they're still young. These boys have been through the ringer. They have been spat on. They have been fucking cold shit, horrible wastes. No one wants it more than that, boys.
This is just so sweet because it was so sour for so long.
Everything we worked through, from the salary scandal to bringing in Juddy and it not really solving, to bringing in Malthouse not really solving, to sacking coaches, all that culminated in this just minute of pure joy, which apparently is something that people experience when they have children.
Carlton over the last 6 or 7 years have had the talent and had those superstars, but they haven't been able to put the chess pieces around them, and they've finally put that together.
It's funny how the world works, Jared. It's
lucky that had some good range and strength, and was able to go back out there and play my part in the back end of the game. And
sort of doesn't surprise me with him, though. Spoke to him at half time and said, "What do you got?" And he said, "I'll give you everything I have got."
I'm so happy and I'm so proud and I'm so privileged.
So while Melbourne can go away and lick their wounds in the off-season, what about Carlton? I mean, this has got the feel of grand final week because
the Carlton Football Club are going to play in a prelim next week. We're going to Brisbane. We're a game away from a grand final.
Waited 10 years for this, 2 down.
2 to go, see you next week.
Our story, it feels like the fairy tale. I'm not saying I think that'll happen, but I'm saying the script is there to be written. Let's finish the story, Carlton.
Once it starts, it can be irrepressible and it can keep rolling. It's very hard to pull up.
We'll just sort of absorb it for now, I think. We'll have a couple of days rest and then we'll somehow turn ourselves back into next week.
It's in eyesight. I can smell it. We're right there.
There are just 4 teams that remain, Jimmy, and everything to play for. This is why you play football and support your clubs to see them play in prelims and grand finals.
Thousands of true blue Carlton fans are on their way to Brisbane for a preliminary final showdown with the Lions.
The Lions at the Gabba. It's so fascinating how things play out. It was only 5 years ago, that we and the Lions were in a very similar situation at the bottom of the ladder.
Carlton is just 1 win from an AFL Grand Final, but
Carlton and Collingwood fans are scrambling for tickets as their teams prepare for must-win final showdowns. It's not just tickets to the games.
Fans face an expensive trip to Brisbane to help get them there.
Accommodation just skyrocketed from, $2,500 to $3,000 to $4,000 just for 2 or 3 nights. It's ridiculous.
Tell you what, if you can't get to Brisbane, it's going to be about $1,600 to fly there, so you're going to have to sell a kidney. My suggestion is kidnap someone and steal their kidney.
Yeah, there's been a bit of chaos trying to get the tickets and the airfares all sorted. So, looking forward to having all of our fans up there, and which should be a cracking game of footy.
Can you go to a cafe without getting stopped for an autograph or a picture?
Yeah, it's a pretty awesome moment, I guess.
Thousands of Blues fans packed into Icon Park for an open training session. Young and old, full of hope.
Oh, it's definitely a buzz and excitement around the club. It's a great feeling being able to be a Carlton player right now, and seeing a lot of young fans with their families here today and enjoying the week like we are, I guess, is a great feeling to know that everyone else is getting so much enjoyment of us as the playing group. Yeah.
I just wanted to say, they've won 2 finals because they're a great defence, but they will have to put up close to 100 points. So find another 4 goals to beat the Brisbane Lions touch.
So the spotlight is on him because reputations are built in finals and he's yet to enhance his in big games.
Kevin Sheedy used to say to me, just bring the ball to ground, and watch how often he's double teamed, but you've still got to get that ball to ground, and sometimes he hasn't shown enough fight. So he's got to get back to saying, it's not going to come easy for me, but get back to doing the basics of just getting this ball to ground.
Finals is obviously such a great experience because you get to come up against these great defenders like Stephen May, and so you always got to have your best foot forward. And this week I'm probably just looking at creating a bit more space for myself and working into the footy, and having Harry back is going to help me a lot because we train a lot together, and obviously being out there together, so it's easy to know if I run here, he's running there, so we can kind of work together in that way. And
with Harry and Jack Martin looking likely they're going to return.
I hate to individualise, but the idea of Jack Martin in a prelim gets me very excited.
It's going to be some hard luck stories. Do you think on Wednesday there's going to be a couple of guys who are going to be hell for leather at training, trying to convince Vossi that they deserve to be in that team? What's that going to look like, do you think?
Every week, boys are pushing for selection, whether they were in the team or not the previous week. So they're both been very important players for us. We felt like when we provide that real scoring threat for opposition, having that mix down there was really important to us. So they combine pretty well, but more importantly, they operate really well as a forward 6-7 together. So
I wouldn't play him. I think they're a better team without him, just to be brutally honest. His issues can infiltrate the psyche of the group. If he's missing goals in the first quarter from 10 metres out directly in front, I think it's an issue for them.
Critics out there can be pretty harsh, and we know that's part of the game. So everyone in here knows how good he is, and throughout the year he's been on and off the field because he's flying for big contests, and that's something we really need in our team.
I haven't shared my story with the players at all because we're busy forging our own and what version we want to be for the Carlton Football Club. So I think everyone should know that our job's not done though. We've still got more in us.
I think going into that Brisbane game, it was this real sense of we can do it again. Like, I want more of this. I do want us to keep continuing.
My mindset was Brisbane are specialists in failures. They are the specialists of being hyped up, being the best side in finals, and then letting it be pissed up the wall.
You grow through your regrets, and no doubt our players have got regrets of making prelim finals and not being able to get to the next step.
So I felt like if we went out there and we asked the question, they already know the answer, they lose.
I do respect Brisbane, but I don't fear Brisbane. I don't fear any team. We can win it. We can. No matter what, there will be a sense of pride, and that is a very powerful place to be in. This will just be another step in the journey, and I can't wait to see what happens. And
our job is making sure that we get us right, and we're pretty confident if we do that we've got enough in us. There's enough in that room to be able to get the job done.
I got to the airport and there was Melbourne Airport and there was Carlton supporters everywhere. Every person was a Carlton supporter. Carlton scarves, Carlton tops, hats, everything. And I remember checking in our luggage, going through security. The airport worker said, if you're a Carlton supporter, come through priority. And I thought, we're on here. And so there was just Carlton supporter after Carlton supporter going through priority security. The poor people that weren't flying for the footy were stuck in a line. Everyone that's flying for the footy is strolling through.
Like, the whole plane was just it was like a private charter for Carlton supporters. Yeah, like, so from literally 5 a.m, you just couldn't escape it. It was a sea of blue. And from that moment I knew, all right, well, this is going to be like we've got numbers here. Like, as long as we bring the energy, we can do this today.
I had the Charlie Curnow bobblehead strategically placed that I spent way too long trying to make sure he was in the right spot. I had scarves everywhere. So it was a very Carlton built up household for the occasion. And
it was a beautiful day. It was sunny. It was nice and warm. There was heaps of activities. It was really family friendly. There was a massive, massive line to get in.
And then Brisbane was just packed. Every corner there was a Carlton supporter. I saw Fev rolling around. The vibes were great.
Got to a pub, Carlton supporters everywhere, near the ground. Like, it was just...
It felt like I was at a Carlton home game.
Which was really exciting because that's when I started to feel like we were going to build a fortress at the Gabba. And it was just insane. To be at the Gabba and feel like I was at the G, I looked left and right and could only see Carlton supporters. You know, I think that just shows what the Carlton Football Club does to people. The pre-match warm-up, we were booing the Brisbane supporters that were kicking for goal.
And every time they missed, they would get a sarcastic cheer from the Carlton supporters. That small thing of, we're here. And also it wasn't a thing of, we're here, we're going to be respectful, we're going to toe the party line, etc. It was, no, we're here, we're going to win.
That first half happened and it was just the most euphoric feeling of my life.
McKenna watches on, little chance for Doherty to Cottrell, breaks the arc, little bounce, a stumble, over the shoulder, a look, and the Blues, they're away!
Going up to Brisbane and kicking the first 5 goals in a prelim, like, that doesn't happen to us.
I was on cloud 9. I could not believe it.
It was a similar situation when Cottrell kicked that goal, Carl, at Icon Park. Everyone stood up. Everyone. It was utter mayhem after that first goal.
Ball settles well, sweeps it back inside to Walsh, who's been busy early. Newman back onto that left of his. It's a lovely kick inside 50 for Harry Mackay, but a penny for Harry's thoughts. Gardner right there, wins the battle with the left fist. Pitman lumbers towards the ball. Hipwood, a bit more speed, then loses it in the tackle. Excellent tackle from Martin against the bigger man. And the 50 as well. Great start. Man that knew about kicking goals right puts his hands together. Jack Martin kicks one. The first three of the prelim to the Blues.
Fantastic from Motlop with the rundown chase, multiple efforts. Sam Walsh flicks it out wide to the captain, Cribs inside 50, all on his own. Doherty. Carlton fans in that pocket are out of their chair. Look at them.
And I was sitting just next to the race that the players walked out on, and Zach Williams was standing in the race for majority of the game.
Then Doc kicks the fourth.
Located his shoulder last week, doubts about whether he would come up. No doubt about that kick. Carlton kick, the first 4 goals in the prelim final.
And I got goosebumps down my entire body because that was just really special. And I just remember looking at Zach Williams because I just wanted to see what his sort of reaction was, because he's played in big games, and I just remember, and this is probably the most special moment from that night or that day, was him turning around, looking at the crowd and just saying, "Holy fuck."
And I'm like, this is different. This is not just doing our job, because you can do your job and lose. Then we kick the fifth.
That was the Demons at the MCG. The Blues looking for 5 in this opening term. And here's Charlie. Out of the centre again for the first 5.
So after Charlie kicks the fifth, I'm convinced.
If I look at the scoreboard, it's 31-2. I'm like, what the actual fuck?
And it's like, we're playing in the granny.
I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, shit, how am I going to get grand final tickets?
I'm thinking, we're winning the flag.
And like the crowd was raucous, singing, laughing, everyone's having a great time.
And that period after we'd kicked our fifth,
I remember looking around the bay and everyone had the same look of disbelief on their face. Like, what is this? Is this actually it? Is this happening?
Regardless of what happened next, I still have that moment where for that period of time, it was perfect.
And I sort of shook myself and went, hey, we've got a long way to go.
Like, I had to just sit and compose myself and remind myself that there were 3 quarters to go, because I was very, very quickly getting ahead of myself at that point, thinking, this is it.
I think we needed the 5-goal jump to even put it on par.
It's been showing no real effect. The Brisbane Lions are a bit fumbly. Don't see it very often. Can they get one against the flow of play here? Big opportunity coming up. Robertson's got space. Hands it off to Berry. Can he make amends for running too far early? That's a better kick. Desperate for a goal. The Brisbane Lions will get it. Eric delivers.
It was just this manic pressure that we were bringing that maybe wasn't going to be ridiculously sustainable.
Back to my point earlier of them being the specialists in failure. To become an expert in success, you have to specialise in failure.
They get the last of the first and the first of the second. And it's a 3-goal game.
Fumble from Wilmot. Coleman sliced his way through. Here's Joe Danaher. The Lions have got the momentum back their way all of a sudden. 35 for the year, Joe Danaher wearing the number 3 made famous by Michael Voss. That's 3 in a row now for the Lions.
Disappointed in this one.
Directly in front. Huge moment coming up. And he took it, Paddy Cripps. That roar at Icon.
To space it goes. Cottrell got the handball away. Stolen by McKenna. A piece of brilliance. A wonderful goal.
And I mean, it's pretty simple.
It's just, you just knew when Brisbane get on a run at home in front of their crowd to get into a grand final, it was just always going to happen.
Flick from McCluggage. Neil pauses. Delivers on the left. Now Lester. Kicks, fires, scores. Andrews knocks it away, bounces past McCluggage into the hands of Walsh. No easy win there. Got it to Doherty, in turn to Hollands, now to Martin. Brilliantly done by McCarthy. Wants a friend, almost finds Starcevic. Goes himself on the left. Front spot, Danaher. Has 1, has 2, and Brisbane have got the lead.
I sort of turned to Dad and I was like, yeah, we're done.
And 10 minutes into the third, you could see at that point Brisbane had an element of control, particularly when they hit the lead.
Charging after him, Jasper Fletcher. Akers taking the full 360.
The space as Bailey runs into it with speed.
With
now the one-on-one, the foot race is on. Marchbank and Hipwood. Bounces kindly for Hipwood. Does the 360 over to Cameron. Cameron turns and goes.
You could see that they were in the situation now where we can quite easily keep this 6 points for the rest of the game.
Martin scoops it out in front of Hewitt. Can he cut back in board? He's got Paddy Cripps, who's worked really hard to get down there, and their only goal scorer since quarter time. Keep the door open in this prelim final. Paddy Cripps, and the champ gets his second. There's life yet.
Chincotta turns and handballs. Newman finds a way through heavy traffic. Cripps superb to Walsh, who kicks forward. Who's at home for the Blues? Harry's there. So this to make it a couple of points less than 3 goals. 8:50 and ticking. Harry split the middle, and there is a pulse. 16-point game, 8:22 on the clock.
And then Harry didn't get a free kick for the push in the back.
Another one in, Carlton. They'll go berserk. Mackay and Andrews, not a great kick. Mackay's got a free kick. Had to be a push in the back. No! He takes the mark. He's going to send it back into attack. Carlton are really coming here big time. De Koning! Nearly the mark. Berry smothered off the boot. Cottrell, this is really brave from Carlton.
And I remember thinking, oh my God, like we're actually going to potentially lose this game.
Everyone in the venue sort of knew where the game was going to go. And
then the reality of, oh my God, we're actually going to lose this game started creeping in only 5 minutes before the siren.
If you're Carlton, Wiedering tried to steer it to Charlie Curnow. It's probably the big bomb straight down the corridor was the play. Darcy Gardner only played a couple of games this year, and he's had it marked on the line. Look at him casually taking all the time in the world. Luke McCarthy scores. He's got a couple.
It's not because we weren't good enough. It's not because we didn't want it. We just were too tired. Like we were spent. We were cooked. No more tickets left. And even still, we fought till the very end.
We're just not there yet. And fair play to the Lions.
Full house here in the game. Time to celebrate. The activated sub gets the possession like Lions. Hipwood's been good. Picked up. It's the Brisbane Lions who beat the Magpies in the 2023 AFL Grand Final.
Good evening. The Brisbane Lions have roared into next Saturday's AFL Grand Final, beating Carlton by 16 points to secure a place against Collingwood on football's biggest stage.
The Blues should be incredibly proud of what they've been able to do this season. The turnaround was one for the ages.
Yeah, incredible first final series for the club in a decade, right? Something to build on, but empty. Hollow, thinking of, what if.
Obviously, it's disappointing. We would have loved to go to a grand final. We would have loved to win a grand final. That's a fairy tale.
There's times to shout at them. There's time to scream at them. This isn't one of them times.
We just wanted to enjoy the moment, and we did so.
How you die on your sword is credit to you. Do you know what I mean? You can either, in a battlefield, you can either run away and just live to survive another day and be a complete coward, or you can pick up your gun and go out fucking shooting and die a hero. And I know which I'd rather do. And you know what? The boys battled till the end. They could have given up.
To be honest, it was a credit to Brisbane. I felt like we were still in the fight, but they played some really tough footy. And at the end of the day, you got to earn the right to play in a grand final. And I thought Brisbane really did that tonight.
And we've lost today and we miss out on a grand final, but we've gained so much more than that.
It was a very sobering moment, that final siren, because the dream run had come to an end. And I remember thinking, I am not leaving this ground before those boys leave the ground. I will see them off the ground. and clap them off, even though I was on the other side.
You know, for them to not only make the effort up here, but also, you know, give us a clap off means a lot. And when we do get to our end goal, we'll share it with a lot of people around Australia and the world.
And I think that speaks to sort of where we've come from, where at one point in the season we're hanging over the fence, throwing stuff at the players as they walk down the race, to last game they lose what should have been a pretty winnable game, and the whole crowd, pretty much the whole crowd, is standing there in respectful standing ovation.
As much as the players and staff at the club learn and evolve, I think
it really highlighted the highs and lows of the season and how far we'd evolved as a crowd, but also as a footy club, I think.
Tigers, thanks for the best season we've had while we've been alive.
Hey, I can't be mad about the Carlton Blues, mate. They made it to the prelims. I love them.
Had a good year. Happy with the Blues.
And I thought I'd released all the emotion that I had to. And I look up and I feel like I'm okay now. I've had the cry, I've had the emotional release, and I'm okay. And then my dad just notices me and he points through a sea of people and the boys are there huddling. And it broke me. Absolutely broke me. Like, it's gonna break me now. Yeah, it just completely, and the waterworks start going in fucking overdrive. It felt like we were with them. It felt like I was in that huddle. It felt like I'd gone through everything with them. While the heartbreak was still prevalent this year, there was so much to love and so much to be proud of. You felt almost okay being emotional.
Feeling so proud of this football club.
Honestly, so heartbroken, but I am so proud of the boys.
There was a sense of atonement and there was a sense of it all being worthwhile.
I'm gutted, shattered, but also have perspective, all wrapped in one. And the reality of the end of the season just has arrived. But obviously it's been an awesome ride.
And there's now a sense of, we know what we're capable of and we're confident that we can do this, rather than just hoping that it will happen.
we dared to dream, and we're not going to stop dreaming after that. So
It's a never-ending story. How much time can you spend being hurt when the big picture is staring you right at the face?
That's us. That's season 2023, done and dusted.
the season's done, but none of this is over.
So the season, well, to describe it, into the storm and out the other side, stronger together.
One collective.
Bit of a matter of proud but not satisfied. It's probably the right way of putting it. I think, it was a pretty awesome journey, and I wouldn't like to have it any other way, I guess.
As captain, I'm so proud of everyone in the club during this time. We found a way to make the place a fun place to be, while also face the brutal facts of where we were, and we got to work, and we made finals for the first time in 10 years, which was a significant milestone.
That is, if for nothing else, the biggest success from this year for this group was being able to look each other in the eyes and hold each other accountable halfway through the season and turn it around.
We kind of take great strength and maturity from this year. Our ecosystem has really matured, and we've come out of that with a baseline that I think does hold us in really, really good stead for the adversity that will come next year.
The club's taken a massive step forward.
What did the journey teach you this year?
Taught me a lot.
I've learnt that you can only prove that you are stable as a club by going through adversity and testing it.
It's definitely just that you've got to sit through it and, always keep a little bit of hope, because you never know when it's going to turn, even when it looks really, really ugly.
Even when you think it's not going to turn, when all hope is lost, something happens.
That's how quickly life can change, is how quickly sport can change.
I think obviously we have to hold them accountable, and when things go wrong, we have to hold them to standard. But I think by the same merit,
there's a difference between accountability and giving up. And I think a lot of us this year at various stages gave up.
As much as I didn't love it and I wasn't enjoying it, it made the end of the year so much more special.
Stop trying to make things what they were from previous years and try to keep looking forward.
We're done with, looking at the way things used to be or how we used to behave or the pain or the disappointment of the way it used to be. And now it's, what's going to happen moving forward.
They know they belong. They know they can mix it with the best.
I think this year taught me to appreciate the moments, and the football is a vehicle towards these emotional moments that we have in our lives.
I think to be able, for whatever reason, to go to a football match and watch two teams kick a ball through a bunch of sticks, I think there's something really fascinating about that. I think it also lends itself to the understanding of how important sport is and what it does. At the end of the day, yeah, it is just a game, but it does so much more for people.
What it represents is that community and family and relationships and joy, and
it brings people together, and we find our like-minded people in this Carlton community. We have one common passion, and that is the club.
So why not embrace those things while they're happening?
As a whole club, let's commit to continue to be stronger together, enjoy this journey as much as we can, because that's what footy is all about.
We now go in search of what makes us better. We now have a choice. We can be the hunter or we can be the prey.
Is it a victim mentality or is it a growth mentality?
Sky's the limit. Sky is the absolute limit. This group can do anything. Anything.
Right, but what's important to know is that we don't move our line of sight about where we're going. And we understand that there's work still to be done.
You can sit here and be on top of the world, but once again, tomorrow's always going to come. So you're on top of the world today. You might not be on top of the world tomorrow, and you might not be on top of the world next month, and you might not be on top of the world next year. So enjoy it, embrace it, keep going. Don't stop. Don't rest on your laurels. Don't become complacent, and don't throw in the towel. Keep going.
Do it to your full capacity. Put the foot on the throat from the get-go and just keep rolling with it, because we've got a really, really special list.
There's still plenty we can do to learn. There's still so much scope to grow and learn, and that's another exciting element going into next season.
And every now and then, a script is written with such a compelling storyline that it transcends the achievement.
Definitely top 4.
I think top 4 is definitely a must.
We get a home prelim, we set ourselves up.
That gives you the best chance of winning the grand final, right?
You just see how hard it is to do it from outside the top 4. Like, it's almost impossible. It's almost impossible.
So whatever machination is required for that to happen, play a home final.
We hold the pen and we make no assumptions and we make no predictions. Otherwise, we miss all the creativity, we miss all the joy, and we miss all the best moments. Because the best part is creating the story and living it, not telling it.
Generally, as a group, we haven't experienced that as a collective group before. What we also have is a group of supporters who haven't experienced that for a long period of time.
Behind me was what felt like an overwhelming expression of gratitude, one of pride, an incredible response from our supporters, from our club.
Are you proud?
I'm so proud.
Are you proud?
Very proud.
So proud.
I think sometimes you got to reflect and be proud.
I think I've never been more engaged, and it's a different kind of engagement. It's not one of false hope. It's not one of me clinging on to support a podcast for a bit of excitement because it's not happening anywhere else. It's one of pure joy, and one that I'm so excited for next year. When I went back to the airport the next day to come home, that's a time where everyone puts the scarves away. You've just lost, you're not wearing your Carlton scarf on the way home. No one needs to know that you're a Carlton supporter.
You're going to get a comment from some idiot that is like, oh, bloody Carlton, imagine going for them, or like, oh, I feel sorry for you, or all this. Like, you always get those comments. Even, throughout the season, you're almost a little bit embarrassed to tell someone that you go for Carlton.
I think for the last 5 years, you've had opposition fans and players, which is the worst, openly mockers. I think the most important thing we've got back this year is respect.
I don't feel embarrassed to walk around with a Carlton hat, with a Carlton top on.
For everyone to still want to wear it and wear it with a lot of pride was something that I haven't seen in Carlton, my Carlton life.
This is their generation. This is their time. And now they can break from the shadows of the past and create the memories of tomorrow.
The Blues are back.
One word to describe the season in full.
Worthwhile.
I'd probably just say like insanity is what the season was, because it was a massive
roller coaster. Hollywood as well. There's 2 words. It was something out of a Hollywood movie.
And if you had have asked me halfway through the year what one word would have been something I couldn't say on camera, to be fair.
Persistent. You could never love someone if you've never had your heart broken. You can't enjoy something unless you've hated something. And we went with that mindset of we're going to stick the course. We're going to stick the course. And
I think by the end of the season, content. Like we made a prelim.
Some of my least favourite and favourite moments all wrapped in one.
How can you not be content?
How quickly it can change, and makes you think, how many times have we had Event of Horizons at Carlton and changed it?
And then in the end, it was worthwhile. It was worth the pain. It was worth the wait. It was worth all of it.
So we're not far off, and it's right there.
A line that really stood out to me, sometimes you've got to swim through the mud to get to the clear water and the good stuff. To do that, it takes a lot of passion, perseverance, resilience, and most importantly, optimism and mates. Doesn't mean you're going to get there, but what it does mean is you're on the right path.
A team that inspires surely not one, but many future generations. A team that is used and celebrates its difference, its diversity, and which has used it as a powerful force for success. A team that is living, breathing proof that in an environment in which many people seek to divide us, we are indeed stronger together.
Have a break, but make sure when you turn up day one that we are ready to go, because we ain't stopping.